on with no retreat. Failures never taste the sweet. Science lessons learned in flight. Journey on through endless night. For the stars, we aim so high. The projected kiss goodbye. For science and purple light, we'll keep flying through the light. Rocket launch with hope so grand. EJ's got the master plan. Thrusters burn to reach the moon. In his eye you see the tune. Orbit dreams won't be delayed. Lessons learned from missions made. Kerbal Time will forge a path to the stars beyond this path. For the stars, we aim so high. The projected kiss goodbye. For science and purple light, we'll keep flying through the light. Rocket launch with hope so grand. EJ's got the master plan. Thrusters burn to reach the moon. In his eye you see the tune. Keep flying through the light.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Space and Rocket Review. Space and Rocket Review. You two girls, tell your friends. Space and Rocket Review. You in the hat. You at the computer. Space and Rocket Review. Yeah? No, maybe. You told your friend? Oh. You got free parking? Did you take the cough drops? Dude, I took all the cough drops, man. All right. What's going on, everybody? Space and Rocket Review. What's going on? I am EJ, your host. I'm the only host here. As you can tell, I am the only one here. But it's okay, because I am an instructor. You can tell because of the way I am. And that's pretty neat. But am I a good instructor? Yeah? Yes? Did I see the HLS news? Oh, I seen it. I saw it so hard that you could say I seen it with a T. I seen it. I seen him, separate some rocket engines from a stage, and the grid fins fell out. Do the thing you do when you rip the rocket engine out of the stage. Ah! That's when the rocket engine went flip into the ocean. Can you tell I got enough sleep? Did you hear about the rescue mission? Wow, David, that didn't take very long. Jeez. Yeah, that didn't take very long. Yeah. Yeah, the rescue mission. I have no idea what that means. But, just nod and smile, man. Just nod and smile. It's a thing, I guess. So if you guys are Mr. Yosh Karnik, 15-month resub. What's up, Josh? Long time no see, man. Hey, where's the alert? Did the alert play? You want to talk about the F-35? I don't know what that guy did to that thing, but that thing is... This fighter is no more. It has ceased to be. Mr. Yak is in chat. Mr. Yak, no, Mr. Yak is not here. It's only Wednesday. I hate that Roulette makes us keep explaining that Butch and Suddy are not stuck. Joe, I guess in this day and age, I can only explain this from my point of view. Okay? And what's my point of view? Well, gives me something to talk about. Oh, gives me something to talk about, that's for sure. I had to explain the Butch and Sunny thing at work today. Like... Yeah, gives us something to say. So, what this is all in reference to, guys, is Elon posted on X yesterday. The president. Okay, guys, there's no way I can say this without it being a crapshoot. So just bear with me here, please. Spare your opinions, please. I'm just explaining it for people that are informed. For people so they could get informed. All right. I could see people like, what's he gonna say? I'm gonna go off. Like, please don't. Please don't. Please don't. So Elon said that he has been instructed by the president to bring Butch and Sunny home because they're stranded. Okay. They're not. Okay. I'm just gonna explain this as quickly and as straightforward and concise as I possibly can. Okay. So, Butch and Sunny were the Starliner test pilots. Starliner launched last June. Okay. It stayed up there basically until Crew 9 launched, which was sometime in September. It was basically up there all summer. Now, why was it up there all summer? Boeing didn't have the right fuel maps, basically. Actually, I should say it's the correct pulse width modulation within the hardware spec for their thrusters. Long story short, the reaction control system thrusters on Starliner overheated. They overheated, and overheating doesn't necessarily break anything. But if you kept doing it, it could make something blow up. So NASA and Boeing weren't 100% sure if the capsule... Actually, Boeing said it was fine. But NASA wasn't 100% sure if, Butch and Sunny could come back down on the capsule and be in one piece. Because if they cooked the thruster after they separated from the space station, you're stranded. You are actually stranded. So NASA made the decision to bring the capsule down with nobody on board and take Barry Wilmore and Sonny Williams and put them basically rope them into the Crew 9 crew. So they were up there for a little bit longer, and then when Crew 9 launched. It only launched with 2 people. It launched with Nick Hague and Alexander Gorbunov, and they joined together, and they're basically going to be up there until the Crew 10 rotation comes around, which should be the end of next month. So the end of February, probably into March. The reason why, now, like, once again, the reason why you would do this, why did NASA, dude, what do you mean they didn't strand them up there for like 6 months? The reason why they would do this is because this way has minimal changes to the overall logistics going to and from the ISS. The ISS missions are planned out years in advance. I guarantee you, on the books already is a crew rotation mission in 2028. That's already on the books. They already know when it's going to happen. They probably haven't assigned crew for it, but there's logistics to this whole thing. Spacecraft have to depart. There's only so many docking ports, and spacecraft have to depart, arrive and depart at certain times. There is leeway built into the schedule. We saw it with Starliner. Starliner ended up using all of its leeway and then some, right? But we did see this. It does happen. So NASA figured this would be the best way to do it. The lowest risk way of doing it is to keep Butch and Sonny up there, rope them into Crew 9, and just rotate them down with the next crew. That way you don't need to send an extra spacecraft to the space station and complicate ISS logistics. That is the simplest way to get them home. Albeit not a quick way of getting them home. So ever since then, everybody's been parading around saying they're stranded. They're not. They're not stranded. They could go home right now. They're not going to, but they could. There was only a brief period of time between Crew 8's departure and Crew 9's arrival, which was about a week and a half, where they actually didn't have a ride home. So Starliner had to leave because it had to vacate the docking port. So Starliner left, and then there was a little bit of a blank period there where there was no way for them to get home. And that was only about for a week and a half. That's the closest they ever came to being stranded. But NASA did put in contingency procedures with the Dragon spacecraft that was up there, that in the event of a crazy snafu up on the space station, which didn't happen, Butch and Sonny can take refuge in the Crew 8 Dragon capsule and potentially come down there. There you go. So they haven't ever been stranded. They've never been stranded. That was the closest they came to it. They've never been stranded. Just people want a story. That's all. Now, fast forward to Elon saying it. It's, I must say, I'm a little, like, kind of bummed that he said that, but hey, the way I see it, dudes, he's trying to gain favor with the orange guy. So, playing this up is probably, like, playing this up is probably going to gain favor there. And hopefully that he could parry that favor for doing something cool with the space program, you know? Who knows, though? It's hard to say. I'm surprised we don't have a movie made out of this already. They're probably waiting for them to come back first. I guess. What do you think will happen to Starliner now? I don't know. I get paid to work in the same structure I live. Does that mean I'm stranded? Yeah, right. That's a very astute way of saying that. Couldn't you just say he sold an additional launch? What do you mean, Orange? There were no additional launches here. You know, like, the other thing, yeah, Toothless, that's the other thing. Elon likes crap posting. He is really taking a liking to stirring the pot. And there's no doubt that he's familiar with this issue, and there's no doubt he knew that this would stir the pot. Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing to take into account here. I see people going, oh my God, no, dude, he's stirring the pot, man. That's what he does. That's what he does nowadays. Would I like it if he was posting cool stuff about Starship all the time? Yeah. Hey, there's no reason you can't do both of those things. Just saying. But also, Yeah, guys, I'm only going to say this one. He's shit posting. Let it be. Let it be. You know he knows more about this than that. But that whole thread is just a dumpster fire. I think the president posted on Truth Social first about this. Woof. Woof. Yeah. Just wait till they actually come home. It's going to be really bad. I don't. Get them home ASAP might as well mean get home the way they were supposed to come home for months already. Steve Ree, that's my guess. Like, if you look at it from Elon's point of view, you know, the president comes and tells you, the president comes and says, hey, you know, we got to get those home. I know they're stranded. Elon knows good and well that they're not stranded. And he's like, can you get them home? You got to get them home quick. Now, if you're Elon, you go, oh, yeah, no, I can do that. Yeah, oh, yeah, they're stranded. Yeah, we could get that to, oh, yeah, we'll get it done. America or something, right? Like, it's an easy win, easy W. Easy win. So you go post that knowing full well that everyone's going to, well, I was about to say knowing full well everyone's going to realize it's a crap post, but guess not. Yeah, guess not. Yeah, that whatever, David. That whatever. If it, you know what? If it gains favor with the space program, and like, so be it. So be it. This is why I try to ignore space Twitter sometimes. Why? It's just crap posts, Trey. Let it be. It's funny how many people, like, I'm not going to say fell for this hook, line, and sinker, because that's a very disingenuous way of talking about some people that I really respect. But, you know, it's a crap post. Like, I saw that and I went, okay. I got my belly laughs and moved on. I didn't really think anybody would make a big deal out of this, but here we are, you know? I was just pretending. Yeah, right. I don't know, man. I don't know. Either way, Butch and Sonny were never stranded. Like, that I could say with utmost confidence. Like, if you wanted to pick out one particular part where they, like, closest they've ever got to stranded would be, once again, when Starliner left and Crew 9 came back up. The Crew 9, like, the time between Starliner undocking and Crew 9 was the closest they came. But even then, they had a contingency planned out. NASA plans for this stuff, dudes. Seriously, this is all, like, it's not like Butch and Sonny don't know what they're doing. Both of them have been to the space station, probably more than most people in the astronaut corps, if you look at their track record. I mean, Barry Wilmore flew the damn space shuttle to the space station, you know? Sonny's been up there for a long duration stay before. They know what they're doing. They're fine. They're astronauts. They'll be fine. They were always fine. This is... All right, I'm leaving now. Yes, you could always do that, you know, like... Yeah, they're just getting science done. Easy peasy. Yeah, also, you're an astronaut. Oh, yeah, oh, geez, I gotta spend more time in space. Oh, geez, oh, gosh, oh, geez, that sucks. So the moral of the story is, test your hardware before you fly it. I'm going for a spacewalk. I may be sometime. Yeah. I doubt they would build another Dragon after just shutting the line. You doubted they were going to build another Dragon after just shutting the line down. Yeah. Crew 10 is going to launch on a brand new Dragon. SpaceX decided to make one more. It's the Endeavour scenario, which is ironic because I'm referring to the shuttle Endeavour. And the reason Endeavour was made out of spare parts after they realized they needed more shuttles, right? I mean, that's mostly because one of them blew up, but shh. But it's ironic because there's already a Dragon named Endeavour. And Dragon Endeavour is named after the space shuttle Endeavour. You smell burnt toast? So they're still collecting a check. Who would they be getting paid by? Who do you think they're getting paid by? Which shuttle is Endeavour based on? The square hole. What? No. Endeavour squared. Wasn't that Atlantis? No. Endeavour was made out of spare parts for left over from the space shuttle's production after they lost Challenger. Endeavour first flew in the 90s, in 92. I'm actually older than Endeavour, so there. They work for Boeing, but are now doing a SpaceX mission. Yeah, but they're NASA astronauts, homie. They're NASA astronauts in the astronaut corps. They're not private astronauts. You also still fly. Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, guys, just a crap post to be blown out of proportion. It happens. It is what it be, so it do. Here, check this out. Speaking of commercial missions, I'm off the screen. NASA partners to welcome fourth Axiom space mission to the space station. All right. NASA and its international partners have approved the crew for the Axiom Space's fourth private astronaut mission to the ISS, launching from the agency's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, net spring 2025. Peggy Whitson, former NASA astronaut and director of human spaceflight at Axiom Space, will command the commercial mission, while ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization astronaut Shubhanshu Shukla, will serve as the pilot. Man, I got through that one. That was pretty good. Cool. The two mission specialists are ESA project astronaut. Sławosz Wisniewski of Poland and Tibor Kapu of Hungary. Thank you, Tibor, for having a name that's not that. That name's easy. Okay. 8.6, not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. I am excited to see continued interest and dedication for the private astronaut missions aboard the International Space Station, said Dana Weigel, manager of NASA's International Space Station program at the agency's Johnson Space Center in Houston. As NASA looks towards the future of low Earth orbit, private astronaut missions help pave the way and expand access to the unique microgravity environment. The Axiom Mission 4, or AX-4 crew, will launch on a Dragon spacecraft and travel to the space station. Once docked, the private astronauts plan to spend up to 14 days aboard the orbiting laboratory, conducting a mission comprised of science, outreach, and commercial activities. The mission will send the first ISRO astronaut to the station as part of a joint effort between NASA and the Indian Space Agency. The private mission also carries the first astronauts from Poland and Hungary to stay aboard the space station. Neato. Wait, so Poland can into space? No, they do not, Ryzen. I'll explain more of that in a second. Working with the talented and diverse AX-4 crew has been a deeply rewarding experience, says Whitson. Witnessing their selfless dedication and commitment to expanding horizons and creating opportunities for their nations in space exploration is truly remarkable. Each member brings unique strengths and perspectives, making our mission not just a scientific endeavor, but a testament to human ingenuity and teamwork. The importance of our mission is about pushing the limits of what we can achieve together and inspiring future generations to dream bigger and reach further. And the highs were fived, and the bumps were fisted. First private astronaut mission to the space station, Axiom 1, lifted off in April of 2022 for a 17-day mission aboard the orbiting laboratory. The second private astronaut mission to the station, AX-2, was commanded by Whitson and launched in May of 2023, with 4 private astronauts who spent 8 days on orbit. The most recent private astronaut mission, AX-3, launched in January of 2024, and the crew spent 18 days docked to the space station. The International Space Station is a convergence of science, technology, and human innovation that enables research not possible on Earth. It's been up there for 24 years. Cool. Poland can into space. See? What is this?
Space? Space?
No idea animation. Nice.
Space? Has anyone seen my space?
That's, yeah, okay, that's not as funny as the cartoons. All right, cool. Don't worry about it. The point is that Poland can into space. It's possible. I assume they could only fly a polar orbit. Chancellor, what's going on? All right, next bit of news is coming from Intuitive Machines. Athena has arrived at Cape Canaveral, Florida, in coordination with SpaceX. Liftoff is targeted for a 4-day launch window that opens no earlier than February 26. This is Intuitive Machines' IM-2 mission. It is a follow-up to the IM-1 mission where they sent one of those to the moon and then it tipped over because guidance systems. They hacked their own spacecraft on the way out to the moon. Yeah, you heard that right. The IM-1 mission is actually super cool. Intuitive Machines figured out there was something wrong with their laser rangefinders, the things that they use to find that the spacecraft uses to find where the ground is. The problem is they left the lens cap on. No, I'm not making that up. So, NASA had a payload on board the IM-1 lander that was testing laser range finding. So Intuitive Machines hacked into their own spacecraft and hotwired it to the science experiment on board and used that to land, and it landed, but it tipped over. It was an awesome mission. It's one of my favorites, to be honest with you. They left the lens cap on. I'm not kidding. Yeah, this is the follow-up mission to that, baby. And we got another one, February 26th. We already have 2 landers going out to the moon right now. Hakuto, the iSpace Hakuto RM2, and then Ghost Riders in the sky. I have to say it a little wrong, so I don't get sued on YouTube. And they take all my strike. I don't know. Whatever. Get up there and take the cap off. I can't. How am I going to get to the moon, Vin? Do I have to? Jeez. When will the next one land? Actually, this... I believe Ghost Riders in the Sky is going to land in February, so it might be landing about the time that this thing is launching. Hold your breath. Oh. That's called the bad John Wayne impersonation. They should charge you for that. That was Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash. Okay. Okay, here's the next bit of news. So today there was a press release from NASA about the OSIRIS-REx mission, particularly the follow-up. The OSIRIS-REx mission was a probe that actually went and attached a vacuum cleaner to a gigantic asteroid. See, there it is. See? Look, here, check it out. Look at the video.
Is one of the deepest mysteries in science, but the clues to solving it have been buried by plate tectonics, the water cycle, and even life itself.
Damn
For
plants.
answers, scientists are looking beyond Earth to primitive asteroids like...
So that's Bennu. OSIRIS-REx went next to this thing and it basically vacuumed up some of it and then brought it home. They released, so they actually got done with the analyzation here.
Bennu, the target of NASA's daring OSIRIS-REx sample return mission. Now, material from Bennu is revealing a lost world from the dawn of the solar system with the right conditions to foster the building blocks of life. When scientists examined the Bennu samples, they discovered evidence of a wet and salty past. Among the dark rocks were bright veins of salts that form on Earth when brines evaporate from alkaline lakes. Searles Lake, California is home to a mineral called trona, which is mined as a source of baking soda. Scientists found microcrystals of trona and other evaporite minerals within the Bennu samples, indicating that they once held pockets of sodium-rich water. Such brines are ideal for cooking up organic molecules, carbon-based compounds that are the stuff of life. Bennu is a carbon-rich asteroid, and its samples are chock full of organics, including amino acids and nucleobases. Amino acids can be bonded together in long chains to build proteins, which give cells their structure and function. Life is constructed...
The mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell!
...from a set of 20 amino acids, 14 of which were identified within the Bennu samples.
I know some of these words.
Nucleobases are the genetic components of DNA and RNA. All 5 nucleobases were discovered in the Bennu samples, a first for extraterrestrial material collected by a spacecraft.
Gattaca!
In addition to organic molecules, scientists found that the Bennu samples are surprisingly rich in ammonia. On Earth, ammonia is a common agricultural fertilizer.
Yep.
It readily evaporates at room temperature, but is more stable in cold environments, like those found in the outer solar system. Bennu is too close to the Sun to retain pure ammonia, so its samples must have formed during a more distant, frigid past. Salts, organics, ammonia. Thanks to OSIRIS-REx, we can now piece together these clues to tell a likely origin story for asteroid Bennu.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
4.5 billion years ago, in the nascent solar system's outer reaches, a world of rock, metal, and ice took shape. Radioactive decay heated its interior, melting some of the ice. Pockets of mineral-rich water reacted with formaldehyde and ammonia to produce organics. As the water dried up, the dissolved minerals crystallized, leaving bright veins within the rocks. The world migrated closer to the Sun until it was shattered in a collision and destroyed. Bennu accreted from the rubble and drifted further inward, eventually settling into a near-Earth orbit where it could be reached by OSIRIS-REx. Our planet was bombarded by asteroids like Bennu early in its history, suggesting that many of the same organic molecules were present on Earth before the dawn of life. These findings help to close a gap in our understanding of the early solar system, but key questions remain open. Many amino acids can be created in 2 mirror image versions, like a pair of left and right hands.
Chirality. Chiral. Yeah, that's what it's called. It's called chirality. I learned about that from Breaking Bad.
Life on Earth almost exclusively produces the left-handed variety, while the Bennu samples contain an equal mixture of both.
What?
This means that on early Earth, amino acids may have started out in an equal mixture as well. The reason that life turned left instead of right remains a mystery. Additional insights may come in 2030 when NASA's Europa Clipper mission arrives at Jupiter. It will hunt for evidence of a briny ocean within the moon Europa, an environment favorable to producing organics. Until then, scientists will dig deeper into the Bennu samples, unearthing more molecular clues about the origins of life.
Huh. Interesting. Something like that. Jesse, we need to mine asteroids, Jesse. We have to mine asteroids. Say my name. You're Neil Armstrong. You're gosh dang right. Anyway, I blame Albuquerque. Yeah, so that's super cool that they found chiral building blocks of life. Well, in Bennu, that's actually super interesting. Okay, straight up, that's not going to make a lot of sense to us mere mortals, but or like OChem people, organic chemistry, that's, that really gets the noggin jogging. Remove the channel pin, please. No, I don't want to. Okay, I'm going to do it now. Tell Elon to tell you no, and you will get you will get funding for asteroid mining. Oh, jeez, yeah. It's just Legos. I mean, basically, yeah. The biggest thing that blows my mind with chemistry is the last time we did kind of a deep dive on it on stream, I learned about the angle of the dangle. How, like, with compounds, the angle between, like, two, like, if you have the ball, you have two other balls. The angle between those connections really plays, like, that makes a big difference. I think that's super cool. Balls. All right, cool. Good stuff, good stuff. Chemistry is stored in the balls. You sure about that? You sure about that? Is the fusion fixed? No. No, it's not. Thank you for reminding me. Chemistry goes in the square hole. Yeah. It's way interesting, even though I don't know what the heck I'm really talking about. Yeah. It's not the angle of the dangle, but the motion of the ocean, chemically speaking, of course. Somebody backed up into it, Gaw. It's fine. It runs and drives. But, yeah, my driver's side rear door is not happy. And the guy, the guy was like, oh, I'll write a check. I'm like, you sure about that? You sure about that? Hey, James, how you doing? Tell her she can drive the F-350. In the salt? Do you really want that? Chemistry is one of the most fundamental and therefore interesting of all sciences. Only physics and math can claim to be more pure. Almost every other science is derived from it. Yeah, that's what I thought, Ernock. Hey, Joshua? What's going on? Your Ford Fusion has soft body physics enabled. Yep. Hope you don't have a ridiculous deductible. The guy said he wanted to pay for it out of pocket. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. He's like, yeah, the guy was like, yeah, I'll pay for it. So I called him, like, you want to pay for it? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, The body shop estimated $3,500. And he's like, oh, let me go talk with my wife then. I'll get back to you. I'm like, you sure about that? You sure about that? Sorry. Yep. For a door, you got to replace the door, Pogo. The door is not happy. So long, garage lift. Now that guy's paying for it. If he tries to weasel out of this one, we'll file a claim. We'll file a claim for insurance. Don't worry about it, guys. This is space news, not body shop door news. The new door does not fit in the square hole, no. Yep. The body shop guy says you just replace the door. Replace the door and then paint match it. And I'm like, that's expensive. And he's like, yep. I'm like, all right, I ain't paying for it, whatever. Can you reskin the door? I asked him, Lord Gugu, and he said he said reskinning. So I have to admit that I'm not knowledgeable enough in this regard, to be honest with you. He said there were crash sensors in the door, and I'm like, you sure about that? No, and he's like, if it screwed with any of the crash sensors, don't worry about it. Just get a new door. And I'm like, I was like, crash sensors? What are you talking about, man? He's like, oh yeah, just the right way is to just replace the door. That door's never going to be straight again. And I'm like, you sure about that? And he's like, yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, okay, whatever. I ain't paying for this. Doesn't matter. Do you have side airbags? Yeah, I have side airbags, but they're not in the door. They're not. You'd have to be a special kind of crazy to put an airbag in a door. Hey, Cornelius, what's going on, buddy? I didn't get hit. Remo did. She was sitting in a parking lot, and somebody backed their car up into her that wasn't paying attention. Don't worry, she's fine. She's fine. It's just my car is a little messed up. The Fusion looks like it's been in a damn demo derby, and that is through no fault of us, which is really annoying, but it is what it is. Hey, Midge. Anyway, let's get to the next thing. So the next thing is coming from Firefly here. This is an update on the Ghost Riders mission, Blue Ghost 1. Another payload milestone achieved on our way out to the moon. Our Ghost Riders began calibrating the Lexi X-ray imager to maximize its performance levels and prepare for operations on the lunar surface. Developed by Boston University, NASA, and Johns Hopkins. Lexi will be calibrated daily until we land on the moon. The payload will then capture a series of X-ray images to study the interaction of solar wind and the Earth's magnetic field that drives geomagnetic disturbances storms on our home planet. All right, cool. Why are we talking about this every time I come in here? Bree, don't lie. This stream was on when I left for break. You had it on the big TV. You've been on your phone playing games this whole time, and you just listened to this part because we mentioned your name. Called out. You should, Midge. Do it. Am I wrong? I actually did a bit of workout and then came back here to screw you, but you were here the whole time. It was up on the television the whole time. Hey, congratulations. You did some working out. All right. Cool. Yeah, I have you on the TV here too. Really? It's a nice picture over there. What the hell is that, all systems? I'm on TV at your house, Dino, too? Bro, what kind of lamp is that? What kind of lamp is that? Where'd you get that, IKEA? Oh, nice, Archie. There you go. It was my grandma's. Did she get it from IKEA? Got it on the monitor. You pointed at the Apollo 8 patch? Over there? Oh, hell yeah. I'm on your phone in your car. Hey, check your mirrors. Check your... Wait. You better be parked, Coltec, or I'm going to be very upset. I'm not home, but if I made the same joke, you know what's in my living room, so it would be a bit creepier. How do you know I'm not in your living room right now? Because Rogue isn't home, she doesn't have you on the TV. Why would I need Rogue to be there if I'm breaking into your house? How do we know you're not in Margaritaville right now? Yeah, dude, I could be. I could be. You don't know. Beer's in the fridge. All right, man. All right, man. See? Look, I'm there. This is where I am. I'm in Tahash. Galactic server 42. Why isn't Twitch alerts working? I really hope that thumbnails that. That would be pretty good. Show us the garage. You won't since you're not in Boston. Yeah, no, I can't. I'm not. I am not here. The lamp is crooked. Yeah, it's not my problem. I don't care. Yeah, that's the. Yeah, no, this isn't. Hey, why isn't the whole why isn't this camera showing up? Huh. I guess it doesn't want to. Maybe we could put the other camera in there. Hi everyone. Elon Ma. No problem. Driving my Tesla. Wow. I love you. See, now that this is where I am now. Yeah. How did I get in your bedroom? I don't like this anymore. I don't like this game anymore. I don't want to play this. I don't play this game anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Wait, how do we? Oh God. Oh yeah. Oh. How about we do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There we go. Hey, look at us. Look at us. Who would have thought? See, this is where I am. I'm in the hotel room. It's a really comfy bed. Now you got to do a stream like Joe Barnard's Glenn streams. I don't want to do that at all. Touch the bed? All right. See? Put my hand on it right here. Just, it's totally not going off the screen. I'm sticking it under the covers. Okay. Anyway, next bit of news is coming from Sierra Space. Brain rot stream, kinda nice. Okay. Is this a sneak peek into your future endeavors? No, it's not.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
I turned down a job that would pay me with vegetables. The celery was unacceptable.
Ethan's here. All right, the next bit is coming from Sierra Space. We got an update on the Dream Chaser mission. Our Dream Chaser spaceplane is one step closer to resupplying the space station, thanks to a successful test in collaboration with NASA. The test demonstrated several key capabilities of Dream Chaser, including its ability to power on, air cool, and exchange data with multiple powered payloads inside the pressurized cabin. Sweet. Cool. One step closer. Dream Chaser was supposed to launch in the middle of last year. Turns out building space shuttles is difficult. Dream Chaser, of course, is a mini space shuttle that's going to resupply the ISS. Here's a picture of it right here. Boom. That was it when it was doing thermal vacuum testing in Ohio at the Glenn Research Center Neil A. Armstrong Test Facility. It's a nice looking spacecraft, if I do say so myself. It is designed for uncrewed resupply of the ISS. Hang on one second. Does Dream Chaser fit in New Glenn's fairing? Yes, it does. Nice. 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 All right, cool. Well, power is able to be powered on. That's pretty neat. Probably fits in Falcon Heavy's fairing. I believe, yeah, I believe it could fit in Falcon Heavy's fairing. It is scheduled to fly on Vulcan, on ULA's Vulcan, whenever that's going to happen. It should be able to fit in Falcon 9's fairing, Admina, yeah. If not the extended one. Anyway, a little bit of news and a little bit of updates here coming from Jeff Faust. He's at Spacecom here, and yeah, he's got a couple of updates about HLS and stuff, and just kind of future Artemis program operations. NASA's Mark Weiss says, I think that's how you say that, says at the Spacecom panel that there has been significant changes to the SpaceX Dragon XL design for gateway logistics. Defers to SpaceX to disclose details on those changes as NASA finishes up its contract modifications. Dragon XL is a Cygnus-ified dragon that's going to resupply the gateway. That's the best way I can describe that. It's basically a Dragon 2 that's, instead of it being a cone shape, it's a cylinder. so you can resupply things. But it's designed to resupply at the gateway, so it's designed to be able to fly out near the moon, which is pretty rad, pretty cool. Cygnus is the convergent design, Manfu. Spaceflight Now has a couple of threads. Yeah, if you guys look, yeah, these are SpaceX renders, but that was the last time we saw any picture of a Dragon. If Dragon is an F-150, Dragon XL is an F-350, Archie. It ain't no semi-truck. That's the space shuttle. You can definitely see some Dragon 2 inspired stuff going on here, but there's also a lot of other stuff going on there as well. Also, it has solar panels. Yeah, are those Dragon 1 solar panels? Man, I don't know. This thing is designed to fly into deep space, which is interesting. That's probably helping SpaceX get a lot of good data and understanding on flying things beyond low Earth orbit. Speaking of SpaceX flying things beyond low Earth orbit, particularly out near the moon, this is also coming from Jeff Faust here. NASA's Kent Chojnacki says on the same panel that for the HLS uncrewed demo mission, SpaceX will have to demonstrate landing, surviving on the surface for a couple hours, and then taking off. He adds SpaceX will then attempt a second landing. That's pretty neat. So what he's talking about is that thing right there. That is SpaceX's Starship human landing system. That is the lander that NASA is going to use to return astronauts to the moon at some point. So before people set foot onto that monstrosity, if you notice, this thing is quite large. There's the spacemen down there. It's kind of big. Anyway, before NASA puts people on this thing, what they're going to do is do an uncrewed demo. And we hadn't really heard anything about that uncrewed demo until this. Not only are they going to have to land it, they're going to have to demonstrate surface operations and also ascent. And then a second landing, which is... Man, that's going to be cool. How will this deal with lunar soil thruster interactions? Well, HLS has a bit of smaller thrusters for when it gets down near the surface. See all those little guys right there? That's the idea. The Raptors will be ignited basically until the last couple of seconds, and then it'll be on impulse power. It'll be on these little tiny thrusters right here. When does the uncrewed demo mission happen? It was supposed to happen this year. I'm not saying it won't happen this year. It's supposed to happen this year. For a landing in 2026. Supposed to. I have no idea. But that's going to be a very cool mission when that does happen, dudes. It's going to be pretty damn cool. Excuse me, Mr. Streamers, man. When moon hop? When hop? A good rocket thread. What is this? Oh, anyway, I got something from LSR here real quick. Check if you guys check this out. This is coming from LSR over at NSF. If you look, on Monday, I did a chopstick lift stream for NSF where SpaceX installed the third pair of chopsticks on the second launch tower at Starbase Pad B. That brings the total amount of catch towers to 3, or just towers at this point. I don't know if they're going to catch. I don't know what's going to do what. But I will say this, the more I look at the stubby sticks, the more I think that looks right. That just looks wrong to me now. Also that video from Blue. Oh, okay. We'll see what that's all about. But yeah, SpaceX did get those chopsticks installed. They were pretty much installed by the end of the day on Monday. It's pretty crazy. I think the stubby sticks look good. I think that looks right. The more I look at it. But anyway, that's what's going on down there. Also, guys, I didn't mention it because I didn't do space news yesterday because I didn't feel good. During that chopstick lift stream, we saw SpaceX pull some motors out of Starbase and bring them into the high bay or the mega bay that Ship 34 is in. Just saying. I'm pretty confident that SpaceX is going forward with Ship 34 assembly, which pretty much means that they have whatever Ship 33 did and whatever blew up, they have that figured out. They just got to do it out on paper. And that means, tell me, man! It means yes. Late 2026 for uncrewed landing is quite possible. Yeah, I would say Flight 8 in February, Trey. I'd say that's going to happen. Sure. SpaceX wouldn't, dude, if it was something big, if that fuel leak, and once again, as we get further and further away from Flight 7 and that fiasco that was Ship 33, right? Guys, the more and more I think about it, the more signs are pointing to this being a colossally stupid mistake that somebody at SpaceX made. This was a stupid mistake. This was something dumb. You know, I know there's been whispers about Raptors leaking, etc., right? Like that's been a thing. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like that's not that couldn't be something that's going on. There's no concrete evidence for that though. Like I can't say that with conclusion, but then again, I can't say it was something dumb with conclusion either, right? But I honestly and truly think this thing screams stupid mistake. The SpaceX did encounter some kind of fuel leak on Ship 33, and that caused the thing to blow up. Whatever this is, it's not. It was dumb. It was something stupid. My main thing for this, guys, is the fact that they static fired all the engines on Ship 33 on the test stand and then showed us. They showed us all those pictures, dude. We saw the thing static fire. We saw it. And we saw it static fire again with its deorbit burn. This was something between then and launch that somebody didn't do. Somebody didn't tighten a bolt down. Something came loose, hit an engine, and broke something. Like, it's something like that, dudes. That's what my gut is telling me. I have no way to prove it. I have no way to prove that. I don't know. Kind of like that Falcon 9 upper stage failure where the valve wasn't tightened correctly. The more I think about it, the more I think you're right. Snake, I think that's what happened, dude. I think this was a dumb mistake. I think something broke. Like, something broke on the Raptor because something, like, came off or somebody didn't tighten a bolt down. Like, could you imagine this fault coming from a part made by a third party? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Steve, you know, like I said, I'm not going to rule out fuel leaks, dude. But the more and more I think about this, the more and more I just think it's something stupid. Because if it was like a big fuel leak and a big glaring issue, right? Why would they go forward with Ship 34 being put together? That doesn't make any sense. Why would they go forth and do it? Why would they put Ship 34 together? They were installing engines on it on Monday. I saw the thing roll back from Massey's 2 weeks ago. Or, well, was that a week and a half ago? You get the idea. Baron, what's up? 50% chance the false floor for Ship 34 will look like the hot staging room with vent holes all over the place. You're going to be able to read the serial numbers from the road. Hey, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what happens when Ship 34 comes out of that mega bay. I'll tell you, if the vent holes, the false floor vent holes are gigantic this time around, well, that pretty much proves your theory, dude. You know, like it's okay, that's probably what happened. But if it has the same type of vent holes as 33, I would say the ball's in my court there, you know, because that means something broke. Once again, this thing just, what's really selling me on this is the fact that SpaceX doesn't seem to give a frick. It's like, oh, on to the next flight, just like normal, right? If it wasn't like that, if that wasn't what was going on, right? Why would they go forward with assembling the damn ship? From what I heard, the mishap investigation will end mid next month. Flight 8 internally is still targeting late February or early March. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. This was Baron. Okay, so you know what? Let me zoom out even a little bit more. Whatever this was, a nut and bolt lost, Raptor leak, more vent holes, CO2 system, whatever it was, SpaceX knows what happened. I think we can agree on that. They absolutely know what went wrong. Like, they absolutely 100% know what's wrong. Like, because like at the minimal of minimal conclusions here, they wouldn't be putting engines on Ship 34 if they thought there was a problem with the plumbing, right? So that rules out like some design flaw in Block 2, right? Or else they would have taken Ship 34 apart and they'd put it out to pasture like Ship 20, right? Like, yeah, Entropy, that's a good point. They should put these on CH-47s and make them go faster. UH-60 begins ground tests with far more powerful T901 engines. Cool. Neat. T901s were engineered for the FARA program. Yeah. Whoops. What are T901 engines? Okay. It's a General Electric turbo shaft. Here it is, right here. It's a T901. They are... They were made by GE for the FARA program, the Future Attack Reconnaissance Aircraft. It was a program that was designed to develop a successor to the Kiowa. It got canceled without any replacement. Roughly 2 hours until the next Falcon 9 launch. All right. Yeah. It was the first Block 2 ship, so they didn't have much experience building it. Probably made a stupid mistake, as you said. I would bet it was when they were checking out the new propellant plumbing after the static fires. Again, because they have little experience with it. As they make more Block 2s, I bet the rate of these sorts of mistakes goes down a lot. Yeah, Bill, it's something dumb. That's what, dude, my gut's telling me it's just something dumb. It's like, oh crap, I didn't tighten the bolts. I didn't tighten the bolts on the vacuum sealed lines because I forgot they were vacuum sealed. Like, it's something stupid like that. I'm usually not wrong about this, but I'll have to wait until the mishap investigation. We'll see. On the other hand, SpaceX is still planning some adventurous stuff for later this year. Yeah, moon hops. We have that. Yeah, Bear and I already showed that. Moon hops, dude. Moon hops with this. Oh, please. Please do this. Please do that. Yeah. That would be pretty good. That would be pretty cool. Do you think Ship 34 will go around a few times and land in the Gulf? Trey, I wouldn't send one of these things into orbit until you're 100% sure that all the plumbing works correctly. And right now, I don't think SpaceX is 100% sure the plumbing's going to work correctly. Anyway, back to the T901. The T901 was made for that FARA, this thing, the thing that was supposed to replace the Kiowa. This thing. Kiowas are actually pretty cool. I didn't know that they retired them, believe it or not. Yeah. It was... On February 8th, 2024, the U.S. Army ended development on the FARA program. According to the Army press release, the decision was made after a sobering assessment of the modern battlefield. Thank you, but I like it better my way. Production of the GE-T901 would also be delayed pending compatibility with the AH-64 and the UH-60. So they did salvage some of the program, and they're putting these on Blackhawks and stuff. Let me read. T901 is a turboshaft engine in the 3,000 shaft horsepower, 2,200 kilowatt class, currently under development for the U.S. Army's improved turbine engine program. 3,000. Okay. Specific consumption 0.24 kilograms per kilowatt hour. Not bad. Not bad for something that makes 3,000 horsepower. That's pretty good. Ah, I love turbines. Would that fit? That would fit in the bed of your F-250. So, Tessa, here's the thing. Gas turbines have the drive shaft going out the front. Or at least this one, actually bright. Bright shiny. I saw you're in here. Where did... Yeah, it should... It's going out the front. Right? There's your drive flange right there. Yeah, this goes out the front. So, Tessa, you'd have to mount this backwards in the truck. Can you imagine this in the pickup bed attached to a V-band that goes to the drive? Oh, my goodness. That would be... That would break things. That would also be extremely loud, but that would be really cool. Have you seen that Astroforge's satellite has arrived at the Cape? Is that the one that they just kind of put outside on a cart and use the Starfinder to go bird watching? Just run it in front wheel drive. No, Ryzen, you're thinking about this the wrong way. Put a transfer case on the front of it. Gas turbine in the pickup bed, drive shaft going out into a transfer case. Transfer case, go to the front and rear wheels. Full-time all-wheel drive gas turbine truck with 3,000 horsepower. That's such a bad idea. But oh man, would that be cool. Excuse me, what? Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys about that. Astroforge is a company that's building small sats, and they wanted to test their star tracker, so they wheeled their satellite outside on a cart and used the star tracker to go bird watching. Yeah, no, I'm not making that up. The bigger issue is going from 33,000 RPM to something more reasonable for your wheels. Yeah. Yeah, Bright, I think whatever gearbox this thing is hooked up to in the Blackhawk, that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Figure I could hook that up. I see your 3K and raise you 7.5K. That's a G38. That's a Pavlo engine, man. What the hell am I gonna do? What the hell am I gonna do with this? I don't know if that'll even fit in the truck. Why are we even talking about this? Why are we talking about putting one of those in the truck? That's bigger than my damn truck. 1,100-pound gearbox? You got 3,000 horsepower, man. Shove it in the back of a semi. No, not the back. Shove it in the front of a semi, dude. I did hear about that, Vargon. That's pretty cool. Solves the traction issues. Yeah. Right? I would love to actually do this. If we ever make bajillions of dollars, which that's probably not going to happen here, but if we ever did, oh yeah, we'd do that. I'd do that. Absolutely. I want to make a helicopter engine powered car. And I want to make it quiet. The reason why I want to do this is because the Chrysler turbine car is one of my all-time favorite cars, and I want to make one myself. Do I know how to do that? Hell no. There's enough talent here to figure that one out. There's enough talent here to figure that out. We could do it. I want it to be quiet. Yes. That means we need to come up with hydrocoptic rotary regenerator nozzle vanes. No, that wasn't. That was not the turbo encabulator. Look at how Chrysler's turbine car engine works. Oh yeah. Rotary regenerator nozzle vanes. Just saying. Like an Abrams? Yeah, sure, why not? Can you put a muffler on a turbine engine? I wouldn't. Anything you put behind that turbine is going to melt. Will your HOA let you run a jet engine in your yard? HOA? Dude, I live in the sticks. There ain't no HOA here. Ooh. Also, hold up. Give me one. This actually reminds me. This also reminds me, I want to show you guys something. So, I got one of these over the holidays. This is a propane heater. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is a combustor. It's absolutely a combustor. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, 10,000 XJ. So, I have a combustor. We have a compressor, and we have a turbine. We have a little things called hush kits. Yeah. Your combustor isn't under pressure. Not yet. I've never seen a shop without one of those heaters. I went to court. You went to court against yours, Baron, since my truck had high ground clearance. I don't have an HOA, dude. I don't have an HOA. I live in the woods. It's awesome. As somebody that grew up in the city, I live in the woods. And that's entirely on purpose. I live in, well, almost as rural, well, about as rural as you can get for eastern Massachusetts. Dude, all right. I'm on an acre in eastern Mass. Okay? That's like saying you own a farm in New York City, okay? Do you want a turbo to rebuild off of a big rig, a Cummins N14? I got a P.O. box, Junie. That's all I'm saying. What is that turbo for? Paul, I bought it on eBay because I wanted it. It was $100. Would I put it on anything that I really, really, really like want to keep in one piece? Probably not. But also, you know, we were talking about making that, you know, putting that in a truck. I mean, we could just build one. Just make one. Good Lord, where the hell are you finding turbos of suck diameters for $100? Amazon, man. Dude, max speed turbos. That's a GT35 ripoff, and it was $100. GT35 ripoff, T4 flange. I think this is a, I forget what the inducer diameter is, but also, I mean, what bearings does it have? I don't know. It's definitely not ball bearings. It is a it needs oil. So it's a, hold on. There's no way that's a ball bearing. It's just a straight bearing with oil. It's a Nagasaki Noisy Boy. You bought a max speeding turbos for $100. They sent my friend a free set of coils for a Civic and they were rough. That's what I mean. I bought this because make jet engine. Figure we could get $100 worth of content out of that, Steve, right? Right? Hydrostatic bearings. Aha. Do they leak? At the flange? Put it on a car? Oh, why would we do that? All right, if you insist. I guarantee you if you email their sales, they will send you tons of free stuff. Oh, yeah? Okay. Shadowman gifted a sub to Junie. Oh, right on. Thanks, Shadowman. Get a way bigger oil pump than you think you need and restrict it. Yeah. But dude, isn't it cool to have a turbo? That's pretty sick. You could have some great content properly designing a combustor for this thing. Oh, I know. That's why I bought it. So, Hellfish, that's what I'm saying. I'm noticing that the leg burner 3000 was also $100. It was not expensive. That it is a combustor. I looked inside of it. It's a combustor with an igniter. The only way that it's shooting flames out to push heat out is because there's a fan in front of it. All I'm saying is that, you know, we take the fan out, we pipe the compressor into the behind the combustor, and then we put another pipe on the other end, and we put that into the turbine. And then you just start the dang thing like you would, and instead of the fan moving the air around, you just put a leaf blower in the front to get the combustor to combust. Find me an IDI to put in Bluefist and the 460 is yours if we put that on it. An IDI? You want an IDI? You want a 6.9? Really? Why not a 6BT? Car equals small brain. Lawnmower or go-kart equals galaxy brain. See? Put it on a bicycle? What the hell are you going to do on a bicycle with that thing? Muffin! 72 months, thank you. I don't know why the alerts aren't going through. You don't need to worry about a 6BT. Just saying, we could do this. We could do this. Here, can we? Yeah. What do you do on a bike? It's about 200 miles an hour, briefly. Anyway, Muffin's good to see you. Riding lawnmowers, top tier redneck. I don't think I want to do that. I think I'll just look into figuring out how to make a combustor and go from there. Sounds like a good way to practice welding. Right. Sounds like a good way to practice welding. How does Bremo feel about this idea? I don't know. I haven't asked. Have you seen The Rocketeer? Curious for reasons. I love that movie, dude. Do you know what the max compression for that thing is? Oh, yeah. It's... Yes, Journey, exactly. And Journey, to answer your question from yesterday, yes, absolutely. Try to make a rocket engine out of it. I'll send a canister of 90% hydrogen peroxide. No. No. Building a rocket out of that? You'd need an impeller, not an inducer. Two different things. Have you seen that there is a train and automobile thread in the NSF Discord? Is that my fault, 1000? Did I do that? The airshow scene with the rocket pack was filmed at the Santa Maria airport. Dude, I love The Rocketeer. That's a fantastic movie. I still have my canister from my last outing with FAR. Blue Origin has a video. Let's watch it.
Welcome to Blue Origin's Rocket Park in Florida, the home of New Glenn.
New Glenn's!
This is where our orbital rocket is designed, built, integrated, launched, refurbished, and reflown, all within a 9-mile radius along Florida's space coast. Rocket Park is an active operations site for many Blue Origin activities, including manufacturing, integration and testing for New Glenn, and production of our Blue Moon lunar landers and future programs. Florida's space coast is 72 miles long and steeped in more than 6 decades of human spaceflight history. We stand on the shoulders of giants. New Glenn will help us build a road to space for the benefit of Earth. It's the foundation of everything we will accomplish.
I'm sorry.
It will deliver cargo and crew to anywhere,
Project Kuiper,
including the moon, and help us establish a permanent lunar presence.
Yeah, please do that.
It will enable us to harness the resources of space and launch all kinds of infrastructure to make space accessible, usable, and affordable for humans.
Please do this.
The factory on Merritt Island is the centerpiece of Rocket Park. It's here where New Glenn is built and tested. The high bay is where New Glenn becomes real.
Oh, God. Oh,
Raw
God.
material enters at one end, and completed rocket stages roll out the other side. From there...
Oh, I stared at the trap rate. I can't stop looking up the
New Glenn heads to the surface coating
Contain yourself.
facility
Shut up,
for
man.
thermal protection, paint, and artwork. It then heads to tank cleaning and test, or TCAT, for pressure testing and cleaning. The factory is also home to New Glenn's Mission Control. On launch days, Mission Control comes alive as the rocket rolls out from its hangar down the road and goes vertical.
Look at the size of that damn rocket.
This
thing is
historic
freaking
launch site
huge.
was rebuilt from the ground up
The
just
Two-Cat-
for New Glenn.
The Two-Cat is Two-Cat-int, Baron. Two-Cat-int. It got T-Catted. It cleaned its last tank, if you catch my drift. You could say it cleaned tanks so hard it blew the doors off. Okay, cool.
Protected by 2 lightning towers, almost double the height of the Statue of Liberty. New
Anything
Glenn
but the metric system.
prepares for liftoff at mile marker 0.
Bruh.
This is where
Dude.
the road to space begins.
You know, Starship launched like the day after this and totally eclipsed it, but guys, it cannot be understated what a absolute monster that freaking thing is. That's a ridiculously big rocket. I don't hate it. There was a lot of good stuff in there, dudes. A lot of footage I don't think we've seen before, like that Project Kuiper test satellite. Oh, that's pretty nice. They make some nice rockets, Dan, yeah. Left a nice dent in the roof as well. That's right, Jay. Yeah, it did. Might be a notional flat pack set, since I believe Amazon said Kuiper won't be flat. Yeah, okay. So, guys, your eyes are looking up here, right? And you're like, dang, that rocket's big. Look at the dudes. Look at the dudes. Now look at it. Now look back at the dudes. Look at the rocket. Now back to the dude. Now back to the rocket. Now back to the dude. The rocket is now diamonds. What a beast, dude. Oh, would you look at that?
However, the things are not packed real
Right,
close
right,
together.
right,
There's
right.
still a lot of room to work.
Would you just look at it?
Yeah.
I can see
Yeah. Ooh.
Including manufacturing and
Oh. Bruh. International Harvester. An International Harvester semi towing an Atlas missile. Well, missile.
decades of human spaceflight history.
So guys, I'm just pointing it out here. So everybody knows this is a Saturn V. The third stage for the Saturn V, that's an S4B. It's 6.6 meters in diameter. New Glenn is thicker than that. It's wider than this piece right here, which is pretty cool.
Human spaceflight history. We stand on the
Yeah,
shoulders of
baby.
giants. New Glenn will help
See that thing? Bigger than an S4B.
us build a road to space for the benefit of Earth. It's the foundation of everything we will accomplish. It will deliver
What year is that truck? That Harvester journey? I don't know, in 1960? If I had to guess. Maybe it's 62? I mean, pretty sure that was International's. Yep. It's an International Harvester VCO. See? Maybe a little older than 62, but that's definitely the same grill and definitely the same, well, slight variation of the same symbol. It's got to be older, so it's got to be like a 50. Here, let me check it again. It's got to be like a 59 or a 60, something like that. I love trucks. I don't care. I don't care. I'm gonna derail my damn space news because I want to know. Yeah, 1960 has single headlights, dude. The 1960 looks exactly like that, dude. Here, look. See? I think we have a winner. Oh, that one's got fog lights on it, see? Got fog lights there, man. Cool. With some of these missiles reaching over Mach 24 plus, how do they deal with heat? That's really, really fast for not being in space. Can you explain like you always do? Sorry for the side quest. Missiles. What missile? By the way. International harvesters for workers. Oh dear. Thank you for the stream. No problem, Antares. Let's take it late 50s. I was close enough. I'm not even a car guy. Nah, you got it. You good. So 619, what missile are we talking about here? Oh, okay. This is one of these videos. Okay. So this is showing the thing traveling like parallel to the ground. So this thing goes up, dude. It goes up. So ICBMs, all right? ICBMs basically go straight up. That's not what a lot of people don't think. You think it kind of ascends like a rocket, but an ICBM is not trying to get into orbit. It's trying to come back down, right? That's why I say rockets that go up and come back down and blow up are called missiles. They're not called rockets, right? What Ship 33 did is missile itself. That's a side story. So ICBMs, like if this is the curvature of the Earth, right? ICBMs are launched straight up. Basically straight up. We're talking about 1,000 to somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000 kilometer apogee, somewhere in there. So you do get some entry heating on ascent, right? But this thing, ICBMs basically brute force their way right through max Q. How do they do that? Well, there's a bunch of different ways. Long story short, they have thermal protection systems on them, some of them active, some of them passive. It depends on the missile. And then on the way down, right, you're going to have entry interface going Mach 25, right? Actually, ICBMs are faster than that, but that's another story. You could put an ablator on the nose cone if you really want to. Some missiles did that. Basically make the nose cone out of heat shield. But the time, so the steeper you enter on re-entry, this is very topical. It's interesting that you brought this up. The steeper your entry angle, right? The shorter your period of heating is, but the higher your overall temperature is. Peak heating will be much higher on a steeper trajectory, right? So what I like to tell people is that ICBMs are like flash frying a turkey. And like a capsule, the way a capsule comes back down is like a slow cooking a turkey, right? That's the difference. One is at low temperature for a long period of time, lower overall temperature, but the period of heating is way longer. The other one is a very short period of heating, but a very high temperature very, very quickly. ICBMs, so I know what you're going to say, like, how does it survive? The thermal protection system, whatever it is, doesn't need to last very long, dude. Maybe 20 seconds. Because remember, coming straight down. The ICBM launches straight up and the Earth rotates underneath it, and then it comes down at the highest of the highest possible speed so no one can intercept it. Brandon, sorry, was listening at work and I couldn't chat, but back to the Dragon XL resupplying gateway. Is that the type of Dragon able to re-enter the Earth after a mission be reused? It does not look reusable to me, Brandon, no. Oh, jeez, Ryan. Did I see your link? If I said, oh, DJ, what's this? I probably didn't. Classic trucks. Oh, a compilation of internationals. Oh, yeah, there you go, dude. ECO. No, it's the V-Line CO series. V-Line cab over. Dude, International used to make all kinds of cool stuff. Thanks, DJ. I'm great, Alleviate. How are you? Total thermal energy absorbed will be the same regardless of entry angle, right? Yeah, your total impulse, because, well, the total impulse on a nuke is probably going to be less. Actually, no, I think... Because you're always trying to make your way back down to the ground. That sounds right, Lava Eagle, I'd have to go review. Total impulse of heat, no matter what the re-entry trajectory is, stays the same. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's right. Yes. Trenton, your family still has an international? Nice, nice. A shuttle would be slowed down more, surely. Yeah, Panderific, yeah. The shuttle flies on about the shallowest of the shallow re-entry trajectories. The reason why is, well, you don't want to liquefy the crew inside. The G-forces going on a steep trajectory can exceed 20 Gs sustained. That will kill you. Yeah. Humans are like water balloons. And at that speed, water balloons don't water balloon very well. Second part of that is you're managing your heat. Once again, with a shallower re-entry trajectory, your peak heating temperature will be lower. You don't have to resist as much heat. But your period of heating is a lot longer. Like I said, it's like slow cooking something or flash frying something. ICBMs are flash frying something. The way the space shuttle re-enters is a nice slow roast. Slow roast, brisket, or pulled pork. Like that, you know what I'm saying? ICBMs is flash frying the dang turkey and then everything blows up. The turkey. And the ICBM as well. You guys ever see those videos? People just drop the turkey into it, it just blows up. It's so scary. It's so sketch. Oh, man. Oh, we got a comment. Hang on. So let me see what this comment. Astro Harrison. You got to say you're a great host on NSF, but I really enjoy you being here in your element. Thank you. I plan on disappointing you in all new and exciting ways. No. One thing I would love to see more is, could we discuss the elephant in the room, is that is how the political climate is going to affect spaceflight in the near future. Isaac Min is NASA director. Wow, how's that not a positive thing? Elon in the president's year. The only huge drawback is that any funding directed towards SpaceX is going to be seen as good old ball network and political improprieties. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Azra. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that being very detrimental to SpaceX. I don't. It's almost like they're the only people that launch things into space. Just saying. So much deep, heavy discussion needs to be tackled here, but I also realize there's much vitriol. So, Azra, if you're out there or you're watching the VOD, first of all, hi. Thank you. Thank you. Keep up the great work. This is my 3rd time listening to the stream. Hopefully more. Hopefully more. Love your content and your style. Of all the YouTube influencers, content creators, you'd be the guy I would most likely have, would most like to have a beer with. Be careful what you wish for, man. Guys, so actually, the reason why I read this YouTube comment real quick, and then the reason why I'm bringing it up is because anything with NASA and funding and Senate confirmation, etc., I'm diving into it because it's space policy and it's news and it needs to be reported. Second part of that is that I'll bring something up the second I hear something. Okay? I got you. Party on, man. Now I want beer, Azra. The hell's that about? Question, what type of beer? We can go for a pint lager right now. Go for a pint lager, please, Mary. Right you are, my love? Same, dude. Tink. Well, I'll be right. Give me 1 second. Let me see what's in the fridge. Dude! I got 1 Sammy left. Oh, I gotta go to the package store this weekend. Azra, this one's for you. It's clean. It's cold. Now that's what I call high quality beer. Nice. What, no Guinness? I drank it all. Exactly. They drank all the Gatorade. That's very Boston of you. 2020 Tres Comas. Dude. How do you know about that? Now we need drunk KSP gameplay. No, you don't want that. I thought you were screaming because you saw whatever Titan knocked over. No. No. Do I have the Lego Saturn V or Artemis sets? I have the Saturn V up on a shelf up there. I have the Lem over there. Oh, yeah. Shuttle Discovery is back in my house because I don't have enough shelf space here in the shop. I'll fix that soon. You heard of the game Roadcraft? Somebody linked Roadcraft to me in, I think it was Yuri. Yuri, if you're out there, spasiba. Spasiba, tovarish. I think Yuri linked it. It could have been somebody else, but either way. Oh no. So Roadcraft is a game made by the people who did Mud and SnowRunner, and at least from what I can tell, it's Mud Runner and SnowRunner. Only you get to engineer the roads. Like you go into a disaster area, you clean everything up, and then you make new roads. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Yumfood, I haven't played Space Engineers 2 yet because I screwed up my schedule, and there's cranes. Oh. I am so fricked when that game comes out, man. I really hope there's nothing important when that comes out, dude. Time for EJ deleting Hills Simulator again. I don't know if Buran is appreciated here, but... yes. The Energia Buran archive. Yep. Yeah, I've seen that. That picture was on X this morning, too. Yeah, it comes out in May. It comes out in May, dudes. But also balls. That's not good. That is not great. It's a game. It is a video game where you operate heavy construction equipment, boy. It wouldn't be a space news if I didn't mention construction equipment, okay? So here, let me just
Welcome to Roadcraft, a groundbreaking simulation of heavy machinery. Immerse yourself in vast, disaster-stricken environments, powered by a new advanced technology. Enjoy unparalleled interaction with your surroundings and the next level of real-time physics for elements like sand, water, and asphalt. Step into the boots of a frontline rebuilder, deployed across the globe's most devastated regions.
This is so bad.
You and a specialized reconstruction
I'm
team
so
will
screwed.
revive shattered industries and restore hope where it's needed most. Explore 8 massive maps,
Yeah,
each
Tessa.
spanning over
Yep.
4 kilometers square, that transport you all around the world. From treacherous mountains and dense forests to unforgiving deserts, every region is packed with critical missions and optional contracts. Earn funds and experience to expand your fleet, unlock cutting-edge machinery, and take on even greater challenges.
Uh-oh.
Your skills and your vehicles are the only thing standing between ruin and recovery. Floods, earthquakes, sandstorms, every disaster brings unimaginable tests of skill and ingenuity. Reach remote areas and assess the damage with your scout and its exploration devices.
Oh no.
Clear your path with bulldozers equipped with precision graders.
Oh my god.
Remove debris manually or in automatic mode, paving the way
Yes.
forward.
Maybe.
Cranes can remove damaged infrastructure and replace it with freshly crafted components. Got a ruptured pipeline? Collect scattered resources, recycle them, and craft brand new parts at your facilities.
Oh no.
Take charge as the Chief of Operations, where you'll manage your own convoys, coordinate their tasks, and automate processes to maximize
Wait a
their
minute, guys, I saw. I'm sorry.
coordinate their tasks.
Wait. That's a furred. That's a furred! That's a furred! Furred!
Their tasks
Bird.
and automate processes to maximize their efficiency. Use precision waypointing to streamline logistics between factories and ensure
Western.
the seamless flow of essential resources like timber, steel, and concrete. Make sure no
Yeah,
obstacle
Enco, this is
stands in
not
the
good.
way of your plan.
Bird! It's a soup. That was, yeah, the other one was a super duty. Now you
When roads
build
fail,
the
craft
wall.
your own. Gather your road building fleet. Lay sand or
It's a
asphalt
drop,
to forge
yeah.
new paths, turning
Oh yeah, no, it's totally not a Ford right there. But also,
impassable terrain into reliable routes.
oh god.
Construct
damn it.
vital crossings using harvested timber or reinforced concrete to reconnect isolated areas.
This is not good.
As you
This is not. That actually might be an international. That's a Ural. That's a T-55 with a crane built on it.
progress, unlock advanced machine
Ah, yes, a Thunder. Totally not a Series 3.
machinery for increasingly
Is that a tank with a dump truck attached to it? I don't hate it.
intricate jobs. Electrify blackout zones with your cable layer. Refill your trucks on site with a mobile quarry and tackle
Ural.
challenges your way. Every vehicle brings a new solution to the table.
Oh no.
Rebuilding doesn't have to be a solo mission. Roadcraft offers up to 4-player co-op, letting you divide tasks, take on side quests, or join forces to accomplish major goals. Experiment, collaborate, and make use of the game's physics engine to explore every creative solution, even the boldest ones. In the face of chaos, your leadership brings hope. The world won't rebuild itself, so join us on the site to set things right. Get behind the wheel, take control, and reshape the aftermath. One task at a time.
I am so screwed.
Pre-order Roadcraft now on PC.
I am so boned. Dude, that's not good, man. Like, this is the exact same feeling I had when we first saw the trailer for Satisfactory. For Satisfactory, like, .1 in, like, 2017. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, no. How much will the game cost? Oh, I don't know. Please hold. Dude, did you guys... I don't know if you guys noticed, like, at the end of that trailer... Hold up one second. The guy was talking about creative solutions. Right? He was talking about creative solutions, and a dump truck basically filled in a bridge and made a earthen dam of the water. $40? Like, I don't know if you guys saw it. Do you play FPS games like Doom? Yeah, but generally not on stream. Like, $50 for the premium edition? Oh no. Look. So, the dump truck is dumping sand into the gap here. Look. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. You already have it? You already have it. You already have it. That's right. I already have it. What do you mean I already have it? You... crap. Can we build launch pads and towers? I don't know. I'll probably find a way to do it anyway, Brandon. I'm screwed. You wanted a game, we got you a game. A game with heavy equipment in it! Not trucks or trains or boats, but heavy equipment! What the heck am I gonna do? I'm not gonna have any time! Oh... crap. So when satisfactory? Space news compressed into a 10-minute intermission between repairs. Oh no. Okay. Next bit of space news. Spaceflight Now is a thread here. Next is the Exploring the Emerging Potential of Medium Lift Launchers panel featuring Northrop Grumman, Firefly, and Space Force Space Systems Command. That says I think it might be Polish or something. Okay, Colonel Jim Horn, Senior Material Leader, Launch Execution Delta, assured access to Space Systems Command. Is that guy's job title? Senior Material Leader, Launch Execution Delta, assured access to Space Systems Command. Notes that they can't talk about the National Security Space Launch Phase 3 Lane 2 contract because it's still in solicitation. He says that will hopefully be awarded later this year. Horn says of the NSSL Phase 3 Lane 1, Space Systems Command open up solicitation for onboarding new previous launch providers each December. They go into an open competition for task orders. Orion, 4113 sub. Guys, the alerts aren't going for me, dude. I don't get it. I don't get why they're not going. Can I? Let's try to replay this. What does this do? Okay, that one played. What about Geeson's tip from an hour ago?
Swifton, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
I turned down a job that would pay me with vegetables. The celery was unacceptable.
I don't know why I chose to replay that. Okay. Okay, here we are. Horn says NSL. Okay, all right. We already got that. Nicole Jordan Martinez, Business Development and Strategy Launch Vehicles Division for Northrop Grumman, says the Antares 330 will fly 3 times before transitioning to MLV. Both will fly a first stage built by Firefly Space, and Firefly will provide the upper stage of MLV as well. Aaron Prescott, Senior Director, Global Commercial Sales, Firefly Aerospace, says they're on track for delivery of the Miranda engines on the Antares 330 first stage, but doesn't elaborate on that. Horn says some of the future technologies he finds intriguing that he could speak about publicly are rocket-driven delivery of cargo from one point on Earth to another, as well as being able to deploy payloads on demand instead of a more predictable end-of-mission timeline. Prescott says they expect to deliver the first Antares 330 first stage to Northrop Grumman later this year. Says they completed 52 tests of the Miranda engines, including a full power firing. Jordan Martinez says Antares 330's 3 flights will be to send Cygnus to the ISS. Isn't that just called an ICBM? Yes, but instead of a missile, instead of something exploding inside, it has like a picnic basket full of sandwiches. Get up, come on, get down with the Cygnus. Yep, right, anyway. Horn says they have 49 missions specified on NSSL Phase 3 Lane 2, which have not been awarded. Lane 1 was not quite as stringent and will be tackled on a case-by-case basis when it comes to integration requirements. Jordan Martinez says they are looking at launching from Vandenberg for MLV. Prescott adds that Firefly still has the lease on Slick 20 at Cape Canaveral and says they hope to bring MLV there. Interesting turn of events. So Northrop Grumman is going to have Firefly make the engines for a version of Antares that will only fly 3 times, and then they'll completely switch to an all Firefly made rocket while they make Cygnus. Or Space Marines. Or Space Marines. I haven't eaten anything today, by the way. Oh, actually, that's not true. I had a little bit of food. Wait, so no more wallops? They said they'd like to bring MLV to the Cape, Joe, but I think that I could be presuming, dude, but I'm pretty sure that means they're going to keep MLV flying in Tara's place for ISS resupply and future logistics services for NASA out of wallops, if I had to guess. They say beer is empty calories, so it has to be good for you. Oh, yeah, it just goes right through you. One hour till Falcon 9 launch. Oh, yes, we have a Spain set flying tonight, don't we? We have a Spain. And to clean the palate, a cough drop. This is one of the worst things I've seen. You were talking about this before, Baron. What is this? Oh, no. I'm pre-screening this video. It's very possible that there could be death in this. I didn't see anything, so... Do you guys remember when I said, like, that one time, like 15 or 20 minutes ago, that rockets that go up and come down and land and explode, how those are called missiles? You guys remember that? Remember that part? Have you ever looked up how far inland their launch facility is? Jinquan. Yeah, it's in the Gobi Desert, Seldun. I know exactly where it is. Yeah. That would be like the US launching rockets out of Kansas. And the first stage is coming down somewhere on the eastern seaboard. It's not great. Not great. Not great. Is it a hypergolic booster? It's a Long March 3B, so yes. That landed in their backyard. Impact? Dude, there's a reason why I do not cover Chinese launches. This is the reason. This is... It's orange, not the good kind. That's LSR. Dude, they don't really even seem to care that these stages, these first stage boosters are coming down in populated areas. Like, they don't really care. That's not okay. I have a big problem with that, because once again, rockets that go up, come back down, and blow up near people are not called rockets. Those are missiles. That's exactly what that is. What's the difference? I don't do missiles here. We don't do missiles here. We stick to rockets. They're building a new range. Yeah, Saldoon, I've heard that bull crap before. They've been building a new range for like the last 15 years. Nice try. But yet this still happens. Very strange. I've heard this story before. Have you seen the Charlie Camarda interview? Yeah, Charlie's all right. I like him. Yeah, Rage. There you go. The range that has pieces land on other islands in the Pacific. The missile does not know where it is. Yeah, Joe, and that's not okay. We can't do that. Can't have that. Can't have that, man. That F-35 anomaly is really strange. Oh, you guys want to look at that? Nobody got hurt, so I'm okay with showing it. But yeah, there's definitely something weird. So an F-35 crashed at a base up in Alaska this morning. So check this out. Don't worry, the guy ejected. You can see his parachute right there. There really isn't enough info to really kind of say what's going on here. So it's an Air Force base, so I'm going to surmise that that's probably an F-35A. The gear is definitely down, so guy was trying to land. And that's about it. Also, there's a beautiful KC-135 right here. KC-135, that's pretty neat. It is an F-35A. It's confirmed as an F-35A. There's an interview with CO. Got it. That's a lot of tax dollars. Yeah, we'll make another one. It's fine. Definitely should follow the accident investigation. Dudes, there's really... Oh, God. That's so difficult to watch. I mean, that does suck. Hey. Pilot survived. That's all I really care about. If you're going to crash a jet, a big unpopulated area of a military airport is probably the best place. SN9. That's pretty good. Oh, no. Oh, no. I never heard of a turbine just stop before. Yeah, I don't... I don't really understand what's going on here. And I know about planes. I just... Now, I will tell you this. This is a good ways after the ejection, because you don't see any smoke from the ejector seat or anything. So, a guy must have ejected up there somewhere. You would have seen the smoke from the pyros from the ejector seat. It would have left a little trail up here. That's definitely not there. So wherever this guy decided he didn't want to be in this plane anymore, it was somewhere up there. It definitely looks like a flat spin. My question is, the small size of the fireball could mean fuel starvation. I don't know, man. I don't. Maybe it was in VTOL. Well, Dan, that's what I thought. When I first saw this footage, I'm like, this got to be an F-35B. to like fall out of the sky like that? No, it's an F-35A. It's at an Air Force base. So I'm no airplaner, but that isn't how it's supposed to work. Yeah, I think you might be right. Yeah. I think he pointed the plane up when he ejected, but that would mean he had control of the aircraft house, which doesn't make any sense to me. There's, like, I'm not trying to say the pilot's in the wrong. They don't let just anybody fly an F-35, you know what I mean? That's what a vertical landing looks like in an A model. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the best part is the crap post that well, it's not really a crap post, but Martin Baker's like, hey, look. Yesterday, a USAF F-35A Lightning II crashed during its approach to Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska. The pilot successfully ejected using the Martin Baker US-16E seat. This was the 10th successful ejection from an F-35. Total lives saved, 7,772. That's so good. They're like, hey, the ejector seat works. Just thought we'd let you know. The guy'd be dead without it. Like, J Shell, 57-month resub. Thanks, man. That's so funny, dude. Okay. So yeah, guys, there isn't enough really information to kind of say what that F-35 is doing. Something happened during approach. I mean, the only time I can really think that an F-35 pilot would be like, no, I'm out, is it what's called an LOC, a loss of control, meaning you can't control the aircraft. That's when you pull the ripcord, figuratively and actually. That's when you pull the ripcord for loss of control. Or, like, I mean, the guy wasn't under duress. It's not like he was being shot at or something, right? Like, he was in the turn before final. Interesting. It's just, that's strange, dude. Ellison Air Force Base comments. David, I'll answer your question in YouTube chat in a second. Let me hear this.
At 12:49 afternoon, my name is Colonel Paul Townsend.
What's up,
Today,
Paul?
at 12:49 local, a U.S. F-35 assigned to the 354th Fighter Wing crashed
Ray, thanks for the
near
raid,
the
man.
airfield on Eielson Air Force Base, with a single pilot safely ejecting. The pilot is safe and in stable condition and is being evaluated at a local medical facility. We take a priority in the health, safety, and security of our personnel.
X-Wing, that's...
Please know that the United States Air Force will conduct a thorough investigation into the cause of this incident.
Hey, Ray, what's up, man?
I'd like to emphasize that stopping along the Richardson Highway adjacent to the airfield and fence line of Eielson Air Force Base poses a safety hazard and impedes recovery efforts. Federal law also prohibits any photography that occurs along this stretch of highway. Thank you so much for the community support. We're thankful that the pilot and those responding to the incident are safe, and will continue to conduct an investigation into the causes of this incident.
So, X, when you're saying on approach is interesting, I was assuming this was during an air show or maneuvering for an exercise. For that to happen on base to final, something in the plane went wrong. That's what I'm thinking, dude. I'm thinking something in the plane broke. Something in that F-35 induced a loss of control. And that's... I trust the pilot. Like, you're not... Dude, they're not going to let you fly an F-35A and not know how to land the stupid thing. I'm coming down... I agree with you. I'm coming down in favor of... something on the plane broke.
Now, I'll open it up for any questions. I think it's premature to speculate on the causes of the incident. The pilot was executing standard procedures and executing their respective mission. and essentially experienced an in-flight malfunction that was able to safely eject, but resulted in the crash of the aircraft.
Yo, Pulse, what's up, man? 96-month reset.
Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source. Thank you so much for having us here today. My first question, what was the plane doing at the time of the crash? Was it landing, taking off? And if landing, how long had it been in the air?
So the aircraft experienced, because it was, the impact did occur near the airfield, it was during the landing phase.
Bob, exactly.
It had been airborne for a period of time, investigating what they determined to be an in-flight malfunction.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I needed to hear. Something on the F-35 broke. I mean, if you guys want to follow up to this, I'll give you a follow-up for it. Something on that thing broke. If I had to put my thumb on it or put my finger on it and try to take a guess, you shouldn't guess in this kind of stuff. That doesn't help. Guessing and speculation, shouldn't be reported as news. But this is just me talking with you guys right now. If I had to guess, I would say improper maintenance. It's a new plane. People don't know how to take care of it yet. That would probably be my guess if I had to, throw my hat into the ring. But I don't usually do that because I like this hat. But anyway. Yeah, I hope so, King. Fun fact, by this point in their operations histories, the F-15, F-16, and F-18 all suffered way more crashes than the F-35. So despite how publicized these crashes are by the numbers, it's safer than most fourth-gen fighters, in some cases by more than an entire order of magnitude. Bill, I've been saying this for the last 10 years on stream. I like the F-35. It's a good plane. And anybody that thinks it isn't has no idea what they're talking about. You know how much crap I used to get, for saying this? Dude, it got to the point, it got so bad on stream that I banned talking about F-35s for 5 years. Because every time I mention the F-35, some armchair military finance guy would be like, it's too expensive. That's too expensive. It's too expensive. It's over budget. It's a piece of junk. I'm like, all right, fine. You try making one plane for all three branches of the military and an export fighter. That's also stealth, that has concealed weapon bays, that can vertically take off, that can carry your arrested land. You try making that plane and have your budget not be $1 trillion. I'll wait. I'll wait. If you can make a more advanced plane for less money, I'd be very curious to hear it. Dude, like I said, it got to the point where I had to stop talking about F-35s. I had a command in chat that would constantly pop up and say, don't talk about the F-35, right? F-22 is also a beast. Why did they pivot from the 22 to the 35? Milan, we stopped making the F-22 because it was too expensive. Because we tooled up an assembly line and infrastructure to make hundreds of these things. Thousands of F-22s. We built an entire factory, an entire assembly line, all the contractors to build thousands of these things and built 120 of them. That's why the F-22 was so expensive, because its unit cost doesn't match the amount what the factory was supposed to produce. There's a lot of times they did that 10, 15 years ago under the guise of saving money. It's really funny because it's a really stupid idea. You mean like the Saturn V? Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like this has happened before, Seldoon. Yeah. Saturn V, Zumwalt cruisers, or Zumwalt destroyers, the DDG-1000 program, the Comanche helicopter, the Farah helicopter. Gee, that's weird. This happens all the time. Funny how that works. The B-1 program. There you go. The B-2 program. Even better. Wonder why those are $2 billion a pop. It's okay. The B-21's better anyway. The F-22 is less capable than an F-35 in pretty much every way. Yeah, it's 20 years older, dude. Simwalt equals the love boat. Yeah. Hey, guys, I got to use the restroom. I'll be back momentarily, dude. I gotta use the restroom real quick. Oh, nope, not a parts store run. I'll just be right back 1 second. Here, I'll put the Starbase Live music up. I have to use the bathroom. Or Starbase Live background noise. Yeah. I'll be right back, 1 second. You gonna go pooping in the woods? No, I gotta go down to the house, man. Here. Watch SBL for a moment. I'll be right back. Oh, wait. I gotta get my phone. That's important. Okay. Okay. Don't go in there. Oh, God. Do not go in there. It's a disaster. That had to be at least 15 Keurigs. Oh. Okay. Did you warn Bremo? Yeah. Yes? Yeah. You didn't wash your hands? Of course I washed my hands, man! It's a disaster in there. All systems, that ship sailed. Yeah, the bathroom fan. Except I live in an older house. So there's no... If you light a match, I don't no. Toilet rud? No. No, but it was close. It was touch and go there for a second. It was touch and go there for a second, but you know, I won the fight. Anyway. Yeah, we should probably use the turbocharger. Look out, Bono. It was at least 15 Keurigs. Oh, God. Okay. The poop can wait. We have a plane to build. There is a command, Edmana, that has a quote from me on this stream from 10 years ago. Hoopiter. Yeah. Yeah, we remember that, don't we? Really wish we didn't, but... I think that's now an F-30 5 feet underground. What is it?
Do not go in there. Woo!
Sweet. Yep. Yep. Glad you made it back before the launch. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're 30 minutes out towards Espainsat. Here, let's check in on the coverage with NSF. What are they up to?
20-second vent, so we like to call it here. The locks chill down in 9.5 minutes. So lots of good stuff still to come.
F-30 5-meter debris field.
But Julia,
Not bad.
with this launch going due east, who should be on the lookout to potentially be able to see tonight's launch?
Well, Sawyer, I believe if you were to go outside during launch, you would see it as far south as you are. People would see it at, well, probably up in the Carolinas. Well, potentially Carolinas. For sure, northern Florida. And if you're out in Orlando area right now,
Oh, it'd have to be a clear night to see it from all the way up there. If it's going to geostationary transfer, we're looking at a flight azimuth of 90. So, meaning due east out of KSC. That pad, that seems to be, that's 39A. So we're 27.5 degrees north latitude. 90 degree azimuth at 27.5 degrees north latitude is a 27 degree inclined orbit. That is the easiest way to get to geostationary transfer from the Cape. This is the second launch today. Huh? Oh, ¿qué cosa? Well, Israel was yesterday. Interesting. Anyway, yeah, we'll, that's what's, we're still a little ways out from the NSF. We're still a little ways out from the SpainSat cast. We just wanted to check in with NSF, It's a joke. Yeah. All right, I'm looking to see if there's any other space news. I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh, there is something that I didn't mention because we didn't do space news yesterday. Boom Supersonic successfully tested their the XB1 and went past the sound barrier with their XB1 yesterday. Oh man, that plane is a looker. So it went Mach 1.1 to basically skirt the very high end of the transonic regime right there. And they streamed, yeah, the in-flight video was sick. They streamed the whole dang thing. They streamed the whole dang thing from the cockpit of the chase plane, which was not crappy. It was really cool. They were using Starlink to do it. So here's a just a short clip of when they went Mach speed there. Take a look.
Of the shockwave when it.
They were streaming live from the cockpit of the chase plane going supersonic, which is so freaking cool, dude. That's so awesome, man. Look at this. Man, I'm so bummed that I missed this, dude. That's so good. Via iPhone and Starlink. You've got to be kidding me. So, I said they went a little ways past the sound barrier. They did it 3 times during the test. They went a little ways past the sound barrier. The reason why is because despite them labeling this as supersonic, it's not actually supersonic. You're in what's called the transonic regime. Okay, so what does that mean? What's transonic? Transonic is the period where you're not going subsonic and you're not going supersonic. You're kind of halfway in between. Why is that? Well, airspeed, Mach speed has a lot to do with airspeed going over a vehicle. Not necessarily the vehicle's speed relative to the ground. So that's why airplanes have ground speed and then airspeed, right? Those can be different. If you have a headwind, they will absolutely be different. The speed at which you're going over the ground is not the same speed as the air passing over the plane because you're going into the wind, right? So what does that have to do with transonic? Well, not everything that flies through the air, that flies through a fluid medium like this, is going to disturb said medium because of physics. Long story short, this thing is disturbing the air around it, right? The XB1's disturbing the air. That's what it's doing. It's moving the air around it. You need to move the air to some extent because there's those wings, the wing things that need to, those need to move air in a very certain way to get you to keep going that way and not go F-35 way that way. You know what I mean? Topical. So because of this, you have the transonic regime. The transonic regime means that some parts of the plane are breaking the sound barrier and other parts aren't. Now, they said they went supersonic. Mach 1.2 airspeed, like 1.2 IAS is indicated airspeed. That's when you really, there's no like solid point, like, right? But there are certain points from 0.8 Mach to 1.2 Mach where some of your plane is breaking the sound barrier and some of it isn't. Because remember, Mach is totally correlated to airspeed flowing over the vehicle. In some places, the air flows slower than others. Like I said, like the wing. So I noticed they never really got out of the transonic regime, but you still got above Mach 1, which is pretty cool. The fact that it's super cruising is wild. It's basically a civilian-built fighter jet. It's not really a fighter jet. It's not going to be able to do what these other planes that it's flying with can do, but it is a fighter jet that it's a totally commercial, 100% civilian-made supersonic aircraft. And they did it for the first time yesterday, which is super freaking cool, man. So the XB-1, yeah, Gil, you said it. This is a test plane for Boom to build Overture, that thing. This is a test vehicle. It's basically designed to test out all their systems to make that. It's a prototype. He said it's only got one flight left. Yep. I think that one flight, the last flight, Seldun, they're going to push out of the, they're going to push fully out of transonic. The flight before this one, they went to the edge of transonic. This one, they went into transonic. And then I believe the last one, they're gonna push it past 1.2. If I would have to guess. Does it have afterburners? No, it has 3 engines. You got to admit, the symbolism of that flight was very beautiful. It bears a very similar name to the X-1 and flew in the same airspace as the X-1, basically the same flight goals. Yep, it is cool, man. It's super cool. The only other civilian supersonic transport aircraft is the Tu-144 and Concorde. That's right. Convair 990, if we really want to be technical as well. Very dumb question. Why that granularity of testing through transonic? Transonic does things to the airframe. Long story short, it can wear out the airframe, so they're definitely getting some data on that for sure. Transonic is a very... I could get into a bunch of stuff, bunch of weird things about it, weather guide. Long story short, transonic physics does weird things when you're halfway breaking the sound barrier and halfway not breaking the sound barrier. It does very strange things. This is a good point of test. Yeah, if something's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong during transonic. Think of transonic to a supersonic transport like Max Q is to a rocket. It is basically the point in the flight regime where you're going to see the most intense forces enacted on the vehicle. Once you get into Mach, it's actually nice and smooth. And that's not my words. I've never gone over Mach 1 in anything. At least I don't think. Mike Bannister was on their panel for when the XB-1 broke the sound barrier. Mike Bannister was a Concorde pilot. They had a Concorde pilot on the panel when the plane broke the sound barrier, which, dude, that's just mint. That's so freaking cool to me. Oof. Damn, that plane's a looker. During landing, Falcon 9 goes transonic. That's right. It does on the way up as well, Blue. Yeah. Harness, when are you going to do more catch testing? You know what, dude? I've been playing a lot of workers, and I wanted to play KSP like on Monday, but my schedule got all screwed up. Let's play KSP tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll put the hydraulics in on the catch arms, and we'll get the thing to catch. Okie dokie? Chief Concorde pilot for British Airways. Yep, Mike Bannister was on the panel, dude, commentating on this, which is so damn cool. On the telemetry, it showed afterburner on stream. Interesting. Can we do some Wingstyle stuff in modded KSP? Nah. Nah, I don't feel like it. Does Boom have progress on their Symphony engines? I don't know, dude. Just Base, I'm pretty sure they did this flight and it was highly publicized because they're still looking for some more funding. They're having trouble in the propulsion department from what I understand. Was this the plane that's trying to remove or lessen the sonic boom? No. The XB-1 shouldn't be confused with the X-59, the platypus, which still hasn't flown yet, but, you know, whatever. Here's the X-59. That is the low boom supersonic transport. I really want to see this thing fly. Lockheed did actually post something about this on X the other day. Hold on. That plane was built by Skunk Works, which is super cool. I'm looking for it. Give me a moment. Oh, yeah. Here it is. This was on December 29th. The X-59's afterburner ignites, lighting the future of quiet supersonic aviation. Okay. I'm not sure how loud this video is, but I'm just warning you that the volume's at maximum, so whatever happens, happens. It's not just sound, they put B-roll music over. Oh my god. That's sick. Oh, that's so cool. You ever stared at it? Marveled at its beauty? It's genius. Now, there was another, they had another camera angle for that, I thought. Where the heck is it? I thought it's live. Oh, SpaceX cast. All right. Let's conclude this space news. We'll find that some other time. Let's conclude the space news with a nice nice SpainSat launch for Hispasat here. Now, guys, this one's going to be actually pretty interesting. Do you know why? This is an expendable Falcon 9. That's right. SpainSat Falcon 9 is going to be expended. That's increasingly rare. It's very rare that you see one of these things get expended. They come back more often than they don't. The booster flying tonight on its final mission is Booster 1073, Flight 20, which this will be its 21st flight. I'm not 100% sure why they're expending it, why they're expending that particular one. What I do know is that they're expending this booster because the performance is needed to yeet a 6,100 kilogram satellite to geostationary transfer. How much fuel do you need to do that? You need all of it. A demanded sacrifice to the Delta V gods, indeed. 21, it's meeting its end so young. Yeah, SpainSat is huge. Guys, I want to be very clear. This is a 6,100 kilo sat. It's like almost 15,000 pounds for the, for the Freedom Unit, folks. That's 15,000 pounds almost. Falcon 9 is moving that. Actually, it's not 15. Yeah, it's closer to like 13 or 14,000 pounds. Falcon 9's moving that to Geo on a single stick Falcon 9. This type of payload is something that SpaceX would have used Falcon Heavy for 5 years ago. It's actually pretty crazy that a single stick Falcon 9 has the capability of pushing this satellite out to Geo. That's ridiculous. Why not use a heavy and recover all three? Building. This is probably cheaper.
You're looking at a live view of
John? John!
8:34
Come back!
p.m. Eastern Standard Time from
John! I'm
John Innsbrucker, and I'm the Principal Integration Engineer for
I'm shutting up.
Falcon here
I'm
at
shutting up.
SpaceX in Hawthorne, California. Today we are launching the SpainSat NG-1 satellite to a geostationary transfer orbit on behalf of our customer, ISDASat. ISDASat is a government satellite operator and services provider operating secure communication satellites, synthetic aperture Earth observation satellites, and maritime monitoring.
Sorry, bud.
ISDASat has provided Earth observation services with radar technology through the PATH satellite, which SpaceX launched on a Falcon 9 back in 2018. SpainSat NG is a new program developed by ISDASat to improve the secure satellite communications and defense capabilities of the Spanish government, its allies, and international organizations, including the European Union's GovSatcom and NATO. SpainSat will cover an extensive area that ranges from the United States and South America to the Middle East, Africa, and Europe, reaching as far as Singapore. Now we're currently at T-minus 11 minutes 25 seconds and counting. We're looking good for an on-time liftoff. However, if for any reason we are unable to launch today, a backup opportunity is available tomorrow at the same time. But the good news is Falcon 9 is healthy, the range is ready to support, the weather's been good all day and continues to look outstanding. We're not tracking any concerns for launch in just over 11 minutes. And with that, let's take a look at today's Falcon 9. The two-stage Falcon 9 you can see on your screen with its payload fairing is 70 meters or 229 feet tall. When it's fully loaded, it'll hold just over 1 million pounds of propellant, which the vehicle will burn through in less than 3 minutes after liftoff.
Yeah, baby.
Propellant loading did begin on time at T-minus 35 minutes this evening. The second stage fuel tank is fully loaded. The first stage fuel tank loading will complete at T-minus 6 minutes. Liquid oxygen loading is underway on both stages. Now our payload today is safely enclosed inside of the 17-foot diameter payload fairing, which is the structure called out at the very top of the graphic. It's made of a carbon composite material, and the two sides of the fairing form a clamshell around the satellite to protect it during ascent. Now the fairing halves are then separated at about 3 minutes and 40 seconds into today's flight. They'll be recovered from the ocean for reuse. Now the fairing halves supporting today's mission are flight proven. One half is flying for its 8th time. The other half is flying for its 5th time. Now below the payload fairing, you can see the second stage. That's the part of the rocket that will take our payload to its destination orbit today. The second stage will ignite its single Merlin vacuum engine, or MVAC for short, at 2 minutes 50 seconds into flight. It'll relight a second time before we deploy the satellite. Below the second stage, you can see on the graphic the first stage. And it starts with the black inner stage, which is part of the first stage booster. The carbon fiber inner stage is that distinct black color. That's the thermal protection system on the outside of the inner stage. Now at the bottom of the first stage are the 9 Merlin engines. You can't see them in this view, but they are obviously at the bottom of the first stage, and they'll propel Falcon 9 off the ground up to the thinner parts of Earth's atmosphere. Now the first stage is designed to be reflown with minimal refurbishment between flights, with today marking the 21st flight for this particular booster. However, due to the performance required for today's mission, this will be the final flight for this Falcon 9 first stage. During its 21 missions, this single first stage has launched a lunar lander to the moon, critical supplies and research to the International Space Station, over 400 Starlink satellites to orbit, and much more since its first launch in May 2022. Finally, alongside the vehicle, the large truss structure you see, that's part of the transporter erector, what we call the TE. We use the TE both to roll the rocket out to the pad and then to raise it to its vertical launch position. At liftoff, it will retract in order to clear the way for Falcon 9's ascent. Now, while the countdown continues coming up on T-minus 8 minutes, let's find more about the satellite we're delivering to orbit today, SpainSat NG-1.
At 73.
The SpainSat NG program will provide a sovereign, secure communications capability for government missions, with 2 new generation satellites based on Airbus's Eurostar Neo platform, which is developed under the European Space Agency's partnership projects. The SpainSat NG program is under the responsibility of Istisat.
Istisat is an international service provider of X and military Ka-band for government and military applications. Our role...
So, the 20 flights that this flew previously are Thuraya 4 NGS, GSAT 20, Starlink Group 661, Starlink 10-7, Starlink 89, Starlink 658, Bandwagon 1, Starlink 641, Starlink 637, 627, 612, 511, Starlink Group 62. It flew SpaceX 27, which is a CRS-2 resupply mission. And Amazonas Nexus. And Hakuto RM1 lunar flashlight. Oh, man. Actually, there's more. Starlink 435. Starlink 426, SES-22, Starlink 4-15. Oh, man. It flew the first mission of 2025. Yeah, Thuraya was the first one. Damn. That sucks. 26-day turnaround between Thuraya 4 and now. Why? I don't like this at all. This doesn't feel right.
The antennas are
don't
being
feel right at
by
all.
Airbus,
I hate
which
it.
is leading a consortium of 5 Spanish space companies.
Yeah, Gracious, something like that.
The active antennas are already in production. Actually, they
I don't know,
are in
Knight.
the assembly,
It's hard to
integration,
say.
and test phase. That is the last phase.
Do I think that Jared will push for more science missions? I think he'll push for everything, Knight. I think NASA's program and contracting, the Artemis program's contract structuring needs a complete overhaul. Science missions are actually pretty good, except for the fact that, you know, the last guy basically quietly cut the science budget like crazy, which pisses me off. I don't like that, but it is what it is. I think he will, though. I think Rook will do a good job if he gets confirmed.
In the industrial part, it has been a very good collaboration between the 2 main industries in Europe, being Airbus and Thales Alenia Space.
I don't think so.
Including all the Spanish industries in this important program.
Airbus works to safeguard Europe's citizens and strategic autonomy. Through SpainSat NG, it will provide secure, resilient, and flexible communications for those who keep us safe.
I don't know, Bill. I don't recall. Maybe. Doing a fish.
T-minus 4 minutes, 26 seconds and counting. We've just heard the call out. Strong back lower has begun. It's actually a sequence that'll start with the clamp arms beginning to open. You'll see those right now in the monitor. You can see the arms are on the top of the second stage. We open.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Jason. Guys, I'm going to run ads here so nobody gets ads during the launch. Okie dokie? I don't like running ads. I'm doing it so you don't get one during the cast. That's over on the Twitch side of things. YouTube, there's no guarantees, guys. I'm sorry, but see you on the other side.
Runs alongside the Falcon 9 and a launch mount underneath. The launch mount under the Falcon 9 has the 4 hold downs that release at T0. The strong back along the side is hinged to the launch mount, and it will rotate right now about 2 degrees away from the vehicle, and you can just start to see that motion beginning. Now at liftoff, the strong back will then move to a position 45 degrees away from the Falcon, and that clears the way for launch of the launch vehicle. completing the recline. Now at this point in the countdown, both the first and second stages are nearly fully loaded with 1 million pounds of the kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen. First stage loading should complete here momentarily. We're waiting for the call out. And then about a minute later, second stage of liquid oxygen loading should complete.
It's shimmying a little bit. A little windy down there today. Just a little bit.
Now the white clouds...
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
Okay.
Stage 1 LOX load complete. We're on time. We're down to one more tank to finish loading. Stage 2 LOX. The white clouds that you're seeing around the vehicle, they're formed as the chilled gas vents overboard to maintain pressure in the tanks as needed. Current temperature at the launch site's a balmy 63 Fahrenheit, 17 Celsius. And when the gas meets that warm Florida air, it condenses the moisture in the air and it forms those clouds.
So, Laura, the gentleman that's commentating on the launch day, which is why I'm not adding much, guys, that's John Innsbrucker. John Innsbrucker has been around for a long time at SpaceX. He's ex-Air Force. He was an Air Force colonel, and he actually ran the Evolved Expendable Launch Vehicle program for a long time. John Innsbrucker is the Air Force component that's responsible for giving us Delta IV Heavy, Delta IV, Atlas V. And then before that, he worked in the Titan program for the Air Force as well. John's a freaking legend. That guy's a legend in spaceflight who's who. There's the ground gas closeout. If we had baseball cards of different space personnel, John Innsbrucker would have a baseball card. Absolutely. And it would be a valuable one too.
The gas closeouts have begun. Next major event will be T-minus 1 minute. As I mentioned, the Falcon flight computers will go into startup. One comment, I mentioned there were flight computers on both stages. During ascent, the second stage flight computer is the master.
Yep.
As we count down at T-minus 2 seconds, we'll begin the Merlin 1D engine ignition sequence. The flight computers will command the hold downs to release at T0.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Falcon 9's gone into startup. The flight computers are now controlling the launch vehicle. Falcon 9's looking good. SpaceX is ready to go. Falcon 9.
Not to talk over John again, there's new tents out of 39A indicating that SpaceX is doing stuff for Starship there.
Directors go for launch. Let's listen in to the flight of SpainSat NG-1.
Should have one final call here for the launch director reporting go at T-minus 30 seconds.
T-minus 30.
We should. Hope everything's good. Water towers primed.
10.
That's what the
9,
camera shake is.
8, 7.
Sound suppression
6,
system is on.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Ignition.
1. Ignition. Liftoff. Go SpaceX. Go SpaceX NG-1.
SpaceX NG-1 is in the air. 1073 spreads its wings for the last time.
Vehicles pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Good call for stage 1 propulsion from Flight Dynamics. Next call should be power and telemetry at T plus 40 seconds and change.
T plus 30 seconds. Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center. We can hear the characteristic rumble as the first stage heads into space.
This is the 13th mission of 2025 for SpaceX.
We're throttling down right now in preparation
Power and telemetry nominal.
for Max Q.
There's the call.
Good call out. Power and telemetry nominal. Reports avionics.
Engine should be entering the throttle bucket for maximum dynamic pressure here. Throttling down.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
There's the call for supersonic.
And we have throttled back up to power.
Max Q.
And we've heard the Max Q call out. Continuing on the timeline, everything looking good. The rocket typically will need to go 17,000 miles per hour horizontally in order to get into orbit and avoid being pulled back down to Earth. To help go from vertical to horizontal, the first stage performed a pitch kick just after liftoff, about 10 seconds into flight, or what's also known as a gravity turn. The engines gimbal a small amount, and that slowly
Back
turns
till
the first
started.
stage from going straight up to going horizontal with the help of gravity, and eventually we will be roughly horizontal to Earth as we achieve orbit. Now you can track the progress to orbit by keeping an eye on the left side of your display. That's showing the first stage velocity and altitude, and then we'll have displays for the second stage as we get past stage separation. Now we're going to have coming up in about 30 seconds the start of the typical 3 quick events. Main engine cutoff, or MECO, you'll hear the call out. We'll shut down the 9 Merlin engines on the first stage. The pneumatic system, the stage separation pushers, will then push the first stage away from the second stage for stage separation, and the MVAC-D engine will ignite, and then fairing separation. For now, let's listen and watch for the events.
Should get the final shutdown on 1073's 9 engines.
Main engine cutoff.
There it is.
Stage separation confirmed.
Beautiful shot of the Floridian Peninsula there.
ignition.
Look at that. You can see all the way to Fort Lauderdale. That's cool, man.
And there you heard and saw those events that happened back to back to back. We had main engine cutoff, stage sep, and second stage engine start number 1, SES1. Right-hand side, you can see the altitude and the velocity of the second stage. So far, I want to remind folks who might be waiting for it, as we talked about earlier in the webcast, the first stage will not be recovered today. You may have noticed that we removed the landing legs and the grid fins to decrease the mass of the stage. That'll provide the performance needed to put the 6 metric ton spacecraft into orbit.
I hate this.
The legs and fins can be used on other boosters.
Stand by
but now we want to say to the first stage,
Fairing separation confirmed.
Goodbye.
Fairing separation on time. And for first stage that is on its way back to Earth, not for recovery, farewell, and we thank you.
I hate this.
Now the fairing halves
this is
that you
awful.
just saw separate from
This
around
sucks.
the SpainSat NG-1 spacecraft. We'll be attempting to retrieve those halves once they fall back to Earth using our recovery vessel, Bob.
No, this doesn't feel good at all.
Now the fairings will orient
Not needed,
themselves
Cajun.
as they come back down with gas thrusters for entry into the atmosphere. And as they near the ocean, each fairing half uses a gas-powered deployer to release a parachute. The fairing computer will send commands that steer the fairings to the ocean landing, where the recovery vessel Bob will attempt to recover them.
Blame Spain for not designing a lighter
Now we've got
satellite.
a few minutes until our next major event,
Damn you,
SECO-1,
Spain!
which is where we'll shut down our MVAC-D engine on the second stage in the parking orbit.
Stage 1 FTS has saved.
For the final time.
Coming up on 5 minutes, everything continuing to look good. You can see the orange-red glow of the niobium alloy nozzle extension on the second stage engine.
He said it was made out of niobium.
The engine.
Nice.
5 minutes, everything continues to look good.
That's the reason why you see stubby nozzles on Falcon 9, because SpaceX is exhausting the global niobium supply chain. He said it, so now I can say it. Just saying.
The thrust of the MVAC-D engine, just over 220,000 pounds of thrust in vacuum, stays constant during the burn. But as we burn off the propellant, the mass is decreasing.
Okay.
And so for those who remember force equal mass times acceleration, if the force is constant but the mass decreases, the acceleration is going to increase. For this first burn, the stack will be doing about 3.8 G's acceleration as we get to SECO-1.
I'm not crying, you're crying.
T plus 6 minutes, continuing to look good on the second stage. SpainSat NG-1 attached to the top of the second stage. We'll see some views from the forward-looking
Vehicles
camera
on a nominal trajectory.
a little later on. The GNC, the Guidance, Navigation, and Control Engineer, calling out the nominal trajectory for the stage. Six and a half minutes into flight, continuing to look good on the burn. Next major event's going to come up a little bit after 7 minutes. We should hear a call out of terminal guidance on the second stage as we begin to get ready for shutdown at T plus 8 minutes and 1 second.
I don't have to. I feel like I don't have to do anything. Not calling the damn landing burn.
Stage 2 is in terminal guidance.
There's the call out from GNC.
They didn't lose the booster. It was
Second
expended,
stage flight
Kopi.
computer is now moving into a state where it's preparing for that second stage engine cutoff. We're calculating the velocity required to get to orbit. You have to understand how fast you're going horizontally as well as away from the Earth. And then we have to come up with the commands that are going to go to the actuators so that we can command pitch and yaw to make sure that the second stage aims itself, so to speak, to achieve the desired orbital parameter.
This commentary is so
Final
good,
velocity
dude.
for this first burn is aimed for about 7.5 kilometers per second. That's going to be just under that 17,000 mile an hour figure we need for a low Earth parking orbit. And 7.5 kilometers per second, that is the rule of thumb for the velocity you need to get into an Earth orbit when you're launching eastwardly, for example, out of Kennedy.
God, he's so good at this. Why are you so good at this, man?
Tell us how the orbit looks.
27,000 is the magic number. Shaw.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Got a good call for nominal orbit.
And confirmation, nominal orbit insertion. We're through second stage engine cutoff number 1, SECA 1. We're right where we want to be in orbit.
Stoner, I learned from him.
Now, the second stage, and we've got another nice view looking forward.
272727. Play that for Powerball. Let's go. Play that on the lottery.
As we go through the webcast, but for now, we're embarking on a coast phase on the second stage. Spacecraft still attached. Following this coast, we will relight the MVAC engine for a second time. That's going to happen around T plus 26.5 minute mark. And then about 4.5 minutes after that, at T plus 31 minutes, we will actually get to spacecraft separation. For that, we're going to halt the live commentary for a while.
Yes, that's
We'll be back in about 16 minutes at T plus 25, but we'll leave you with the visuals from space.
John is so damn good at commentary. I don't know how that guy got that good at commentating on launches, but he is disgustingly good at it, man. Like, better than me, and I've been doing this for a while. And yes, like I said, that is a zip tie. Yes, absolutely. It's a space zip tie, okay? That is a restrictive polymetric fastening apparatus. Yes. Oh, yes. And it goes in the square hole. Can we blame Alex for the loss of stage 1? It's a good idea.
Hey, Tamiko, or to see, Seco, excuse me. Definitely.
You know what,
Tamiko.
Brandon? I'm gonna ask. So can we
Very
blame
well done,
Alex,
Gage and Cape Team. I know we've got some awesome photos. I've already seen the preview of at least one of them in the back channel. Exciting stuff to come, and of course the launch replays to come, including that track review. So lots to stay with here as we wait the next couple minutes here for one final engine burn, and then the deployment of SpaceSat NG-1.
Siri,
I
stop!
also see all the 07 spam. Flipper79, by the way, with the super chat saying the 07 spam as we say farewell 1073.
Okay.
Let's see. Bunch of people saying fighting fire with aluminum. Aluminum loses. Yeah, Alan, I think that's very true. Nesbitt saying they could see stage 2 all the way from Bermuda. That is pretty cool.
Come on, Sawyer, see it.
And yeah. Pizza Lore is wondering, by the way, why did they expend the first stage on this one? For those who don't know,
they needed the performance for this because it's a 6-ton payload, and you know, for that kind of mass, the satellite will not go into a traditional geosynchronous transfer orbit.
I think they missed it, guys.
And so they need that extra performance when they have to land the booster.
I think they missed it. It's a shame. It's a shame. Anyway, we'll go back over here. Type it in the back channel. Yannick, it's fine in this context. You know, going back and forth. As long as we're not restreaming the whole thing, dude, it's all good. Do a super chat so they have to read it. Alex is gonna kill me, dude. He's gonna come over here. He's gonna kick me square in the fuel tanks. The spherical fuel tanks. Well, Kenneth, here's the thing, dude. SpaceX has plenty of boosters that are over 20 flights, dude. We saw Booster Flight's 25th flight the other day. He's gonna kick me right in the RCS tanks. He just acknowledged it? Ah, crap!
There was also another, but that was with satellite.
Yes, also a certain person in chat named EJ_SA.
Yeah!
Saying, so we can blame Alex for Booster 1073 getting expended?
Hey, don't blame me.
Alright, I gotta chuckle.
Funny, but mean.
I gotta chuckle. That's good. That's good enough.
Not able to do that.
We're good.
It was.
We're good, man. That's fine. That's good enough. That's good enough. A chuckle from Alex is a good thing. That's a good thing. That's like getting Trevor Sesnick to laugh. I got him to laugh like once or twice on a Starship stream, and I was like so proud of myself. I got him to go. I got him to belly laugh. I'm like, yes! Oh, I am the freaking winner, dude. Winner! Made me so happy. People even commented in the back channel. They're like, holy crap, you got Trevor to laugh. I'm like, yes! I am the master. Can we send the yak to fetch the zip tie? No. 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 You sure, EJ? Is it a good thing? Yeah, yeah. Tell us the joke. I don't remember. Yeah, I have no idea. What did the owl say to the bungee cord? My butt. That was funny, Vargon. That was a good stream. Is it? James, here, let me talk to my therapist here. Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's fine. Yep. Yeah, it's fine. No, we're good. I like your therapist. Can I borrow it? Yeah, it costs money. It's gonna cost you. That was boss. It's going to cost you, Shaw. You'll hear about it on Friday? Yeah, most likely. Are you gonna click on stage 2? Yeah, I'm trying to, but it's not giving me an up-close view. Dude, Vargon, I remember that. I remember I got Jack to laugh so hard he sounded like a dying rabbit or something. He's like, I'm like, dude, the mic didn't even pick it up. It didn't even, like, did you run out of EC? Maybe. It sounded like a llama, yeah. Yeah, streamer from Boston. Will we ever get an intermediate methane launcher from SpaceX? Yeah, just a Starship with less payload in it. I know that's not what you meant, Ryzen, but... No, yeah, maybe? Oh, I love this song. Hold on. Yo, this is my jam. This song is about me. Sorry. T plus 16 minutes and 30 seconds into the flight. Falcon 9 second stage now traveling at 27,242 kilometers an hour. Current altitude is 171 kilometers. Goalie, your oldest asked why he was getting blamed. He's not paying attention at all. He's like, why am I getting blamed? Well, because you made the satellite. Alex, it's not you. It's another Alex. I mean, do you want to be blamed? Why? Why? You hiding something, boy? Yeah, I could see you through the screen. That's right. You hiding something on me, boy? You don't want to get Uncle EJ all upset now, boy, do you? Yeah, no, the reason why the telemetry isn't changing, guys, for real, is because they're between ground stations. In another probably about a minute or two, they'll get a reacquisition of signal through Gabon, which is their Gabon ground tracking stations, like right here. And I kicked over my keyboard. You'll see these numbers update when they get a signal handover. The numbers will re-click and it'll look like a slot machine going. In fact, that's the reason why they're waiting to do this second burn. Because they want to do the burn. Oh God, X-Video, jeez. They want to do the burn while they have a good signal. Can you do a French accent? In France, when a man is caught poaching ostriches, we shave his head and make him run backwards to the fields. Dagobah? Yeah. Stage 1 dead? Yep. Hey, Tech, sorry if this was asked already. Why don't they use Starlink for connectivity to Falcon 9? Tech, that's mostly because Falcon 9 needs to fly a lot. Ironically, it needs to fly a lot to launch Starlinks. Now, I know it might not seem like that big of a deal, and we definitely see Starlink satellites on starships, obviously. That's how we were able to see re-entry and stuff, right, dude? But on Falcon 9, you don't want to... Changing the antenna is like changing an engine. That's a big deal, changing the antennas on the vehicle. Right? That's actually a big thing to change. So in order, basically, SpaceX is not going to change the vehicle because this works. It works just fine. Maybe they'll change it in the future, but you don't want to go monkeying around with a rocket's antennas. I mean, think about how like hardcore that antenna needs to be on a rocket and not get broken, right? You don't want to go re-engineering that, right? But also at the same time, it's pretty well documented that Starship can withstand 33 Raptors, you know, vibrating the ever-loving trash out of it. So I don't know. They probably will in the future, but I haven't really seen them doing that. I think it's much more about making more Falcon 9s than not. You don't want to go changing the design if you're trying to make a lot of these things. Can you do an accent of where the stage 1 passes over? Yeah. It's the ocean. Very nice. Merci beaucoup, mon ami. No, my friend. Let's tostitos a leçon. New vast status video just dropped. Excuse me for like another 10 minutes, Phil. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Stop throwing them away and you don't need a lot of them. Right. I think they're trying to work on that. May I post a link? No, DJ. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, man. You should have perms, right? Pretty sure. This is my favorite test shot song, dudes. I can see it, DJ. What is it? What's on your DJ mind? Did you see this? Loud and beautiful. The cone, dude. That's mint. This is a shot for my buddies over at NSF. Whoa! There was a timeline when I was in university like 3 years ago. I used to download live footage from Stage 2 overflying my place. Their feed was not encrypted until someone spoiled it for us when they found out that Starship SN 8, 9, and 10 used the same frequency transponder as Falcon 9 Stage 2. They ended up going to South Padre and downloading SpaceX proprietary footage. It takes one dude to ruin it for us all. Now every SpaceX feed is encrypted. Oh well. That's right, it goes in the cloud hole. You can see on the graphic when the burn will take place. Well, yeah, no doubt, dude. Of course, David. I know, I see it right there. There's just not really a timeline for that, dude. So I'm kind of having to estimate whatever this, like, that span of time is from here to then. John did say when it was, dude, but rewinding videos on X is ill-advised. See how the line changes? Yeah. So the blue, Dave, is where they're up. There's the reacquisition of signal. See, 26,567, 326. The blue line is where it's the orbit that it's in right now. The white line is where it's supposed to go. "27 minutes, thank you." Yep, so what they're doing right here is MVAC chill. They're chilling down the engine for second stage engine start 2. So particularly they're chilling down the turbine machinery, the fuel pump. They have extremely cold liquid oxygen on board this second stage because you have to bring the oxygen with you. There's none up there in space, right? You got to bring it with you. So in order to bring it with you, it's easier to move it as a liquid. Now, when it's a liquid, it's super freaking cold. So similar to how like an automobile would have like an operating temperature, the turbine machinery, which is the fuel pump, which is over there. It's on the back side of this. It's on the other side of the rocket engine in this shot. They'll switch back to it in a moment. There it is. See it down there? See, the turbine machinery is right here. In order to get that to its operating temperature, which is required to move a lot of liquid oxygen very, very quickly, they got to chill it down. It's got to be cold. So what you're seeing is that oxygen that they're using to bring the engine down to operating temperature being vented overboard because it's becoming gaseous oxygen. What you don't want to do is have any of that inside of the engine when you go to start, or else it'll go right to your thighs. And then you'll blow up.
John Innsbrucker.
So what they're doing is chilling down the engines, and that's what all this snow is. It's solid oxygen.
Is we're coming up in about a minute and a half.
And gaseous oxygen,
too. Second burn of that engine, placing the
the weather
NG-1
outside is weather
into the desired transfer orbit. A quick recap, we had an on-time liftoff at 8:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time from 39A at Kennedy Space Center. Successful first stage shutdown, stage separation. We had a good burn on the second stage engine.
That's a big chunk.
We also had the fairing separation that we saw. Fairing halves back to the ocean right now, where they'll be recovered.
Does LOX have a higher heat capacity
that
versus
was
methane?
Its 8th flight.
No,
the
methane
other one
is
was
higher.
Its 5th flight.
It's that hydrogen, dude.
We also then got into the desired orbit, and that's where we are right now, finishing up a coast phase, and we're just about 35 seconds away from relight of the MVAC engine for the second time, and that'll propel the stack into the desired geostationary transfer orbit.
All right. You should see a green flash here in the next 30 seconds. Green flash of the triethyl aluminum and triethyl borane. Pyrophoric ignition fluid. When it finds oxygen, it'll explode.
Waiting right now for the last seconds as the flight computer counts down to the ignition of the engine.
I'm good right now, King. Watch that chunk. Ready? Bye-bye. Good relight.
Ignition of the MVAC-D engine. Now this burn's going to last about 67 seconds. That's typical for a geostationary mission. If you're watching the speed gauge on the right-hand side of the display, you're going to see that we're going to add about 2,500 meters per second to the velocity of the second stage, which is still carrying the SpainSat NG-1 payload on top. Now during this burn, as we continue burning off the remainder of the propellant, the acceleration will reach 4.8 G at the end of the burn. Wow. This is about 1 G more acceleration than we had on the first burn of the second stage when we had a lot more propellant on board. Engine now throttling down, decreasing the loads on the spacecraft as we're coming up, and we have SECO 2.
Should get another call here for nominal orbit insertion.
Nominal orbit insertion.
Told you.
And there's the big call out for the day, nominal orbit insertion. Second stage in its second burn has put the spacecraft onto the desired trajectory. You can see right now 400 kilometers, 440 kilometers in altitude. We're headed to an orbit much higher than that. Next up, we're going to have separation of the second stage.
You see the nozzle flex? Yeah. Yep. So 35.6 at 455, Baron? Yeah, that's super sync. Yeah, absolutely. They're pushing the apogee past Geo on purpose. Basically doing the opposite of utilizing the opposite of the Oberth effect. So the satellite doesn't need as much delta V to circularize. Yeah, it's called a super synchronous insertion. It's pretty cool. $35.5 is booking though. But note, take a look. Speed is going down, but altitude is going up, meaning this thing is coasting to its highest point in the orbit. Now, the high point here, the apogee is it's somewhere above 38,000 kilometers. It's way up there, dude. 23,000. It's above 23,000 miles, so it's a very, very high orbit. 400 and change Cilio is the ISS. Yeah, we're way past that, dude. I don't think the apogee is 75,000, Baron. I really don't. Super synchronous insertions are usually 40 to 50. Super Saiyan insertion. Kame! 42,164 dead? Yeah, there you go. It's enough to get to Gilly. Right. Is that a blue zip tie? Yep. Oh yeah, it is. How many orbits will the second stage do before re-entry? Probably like 100 to 200 Bond. The thing about these super synchronous insertion orbits is that what SpaceX does to passivate this stage and eventually get it to deorbit is have the perigee below 200 kilometers. So perigee, okay, little bit on orbital mechanics. There's some real nerd stuff coming at you. I know it's a little bit late. Believe me, this is worth it. So perigee, for the people that don't know, perigee is the low point in your orbit around a celestial body. Technically periapsis, right? It's perigee because it's the low point around Earth. The flip side of that is the apogee, which is your highest point in your orbit around Earth. This thing has an orbit well past geostationary. The reason why is because it is more fuel efficient to make maneuvers. It is more fuel efficient to make maneuvers further out of Earth's grav well. So this thing is shooting this satellite past its target orbit because, believe it or not, it'll take less fuel. It'll take less fuel to go way out there. There's your deploy.
Avionics engineer calling out successful deploy. You can see it on the screen.
It'll take less fuel for this thing to come back down from that higher orbit than it would be to go up to that higher orbit. It's called supersynchronous insertion, and it's one of those things with rocket science that's kind of really counterintuitive.
With that, that's going to wrap up our coverage for
Lizzie,
today.
Thank you for the
All
resub.
of us at SpaceX want to give a big thank you to our customer Isdesat. We also want to give a shout out to the Eastern Range, Kennedy Space Center, and the Federal Aviation Administration for supporting today's launch. And as always, thanks to all our viewers for logging on and your continued support. Be sure to follow us using @SpaceX on X for mission updates.
John,
I'm John Innsbrucker. We'll see you again soon.
John, I'll follow you to the mists of Avalon. So, yeah, it's actually more fuel efficient to shoot the satellite past its target orbit and then come down from that orbit. Believe it or not, that actually takes less delta V because it's easier to do maneuvers when you're further out of the grav well. Yeah, that's why the apogee high point is targeted past geosynchronous altitude. Geosynchronous is somewhere between 37,500 and 38,000 kilometers, or about 23,000 miles. This thing is well past that. Like, we're talking over 40,000 kilometers that way. Or 25,000 miles that way. It's a long way. Fun fact, until Starlink came around, that's why your internet on aircraft sucks. Because the satellites are 23,000 miles that way. Yeah. Starlink. Starlink. Haha. Some cool content coming from this person, Tech Speciales. So that was the Isdesat Spainsat NG1 mission. Pretty poggers. Fuck. Did you see the VAST video? I have been covering this launch. Oh, nice. That's cool, Vargon. Phil linked the VAST video. I don't think I have it, but oh. Spank you, Philium. Spank you very much. All right. We're going to conclude space news here with an update from VAST on their Haven 1 space station module. And then we'll, I think we'll pack it in from there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Spainsat NG1 launch coverage. I have not missed a Falcon 9. I have not missed a Falcon 9 this year. And I intend to keep this streak. The next... the next Starlink is during the flame trench. Does it count? Does it count? It's gotta count. No! What do you mean, no? Or am I going to be on this flame trench? As far as I can tell, Will, yes, I'm going to. It will get delayed anyways. God, I hope so. Alright, anyway. Let's see what VAST is up to. This damn B-roll promo footage is always going to kill me, dude. See, here, I'll just hit 719 team members. Alright. Airlocks closing. Haven 1 hatch by VAST. People floating around in space. Haven 1 domed windows by VAST. Yeah, okay, weather guy. People having fun in space. Haven 1 payloads. Haven 1 valves. Haven 1 meteorite shields. Haven 1 VCU vacuum control unit. Haven 1 life support and thrusters by impulse. Haven 1 solar panels. best in the business. Haven 1, bags. Haven 1, taping a guy to a wall. That was Drew Faustill testing the beds in space. Haven 1, batteries. Guy with a multimeter. Ooh, this is... Oh, the billet. Control moment gyros. Stop saying Haven 1. Be quiet. Haven 1, primary structure by Vast. Yeah. Now this is the part that they added. Oh! Telescoping roller crane. Bros, telescoping roller crane. Next milestone. Primary structural qualification testing by Vast. People looking out a window. Dragon docked to the space station. Vast. It's the same video with the exception of this. Telescoping roller cranes. Yep, they're gonna crush that thing. Where does it go? That's right, it goes in the square can crusher. By Vast. I thought this was in the previous video as well. I don't remember these shots, dude. I would have noticed the telescoping crane, I think, Sea Kraken. The Vast Crusher. We call her the Crushinator. It doesn't count, James? Shut up. What do you mean it doesn't count? Kiss my Vast Haven module. Kiss my Vast. Nice looking Kraken crane. Oh, I agree. Will SpaceX launch this Haven 1 in future payloads? I think SpaceX is, yeah, targeted to launch this thing, Kenneth, and then send people to it. I'm pretty sure. RT, are known as a rough terrain cranes for all your crane needs. I don't know why I'm still talking. Ford Ranger. I don't know why I'm still talking. Hey, that's Mojave. I don't know why I'm still talking like this. That's Mojave. That's where the XB1 took off from. This is going off the rails very fast. All right. Cool. Cool update from Vast. They're going to crush that space station module. It's called dynamic load testing, okay? But also, they're going to crush it. That big thing that they put the module into is a big crusher. Very fast. From Vast. The Vast modules are the best modules in the business. All right, I'll stop. Just kidding. No, I won't. All right. Well, that's going to do it for Space News, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm working on a side project for NSF, so I'm not going to do after hours tonight. But we're playing Kerbal and we're catching a boosted tomorrow, okay? We're catching a boosted, dude. It's going to be friggin' sweet. The Vastastic from Discord. Jean-Claude Van Damme in the same crap you've seen over and over and over again. Check that real fast. Did you just link threads? You just linked threads in my stream, unironically? Yellowstone National Park was rocked by an earthquake last night, sparking fears its supervolcano could be awakening. We are so screwed. Weather guy, if that thing goes, praise the Lord and prep the ammunition. You know? And on that bombshell. Why is the voice so good? I don't know. Worst timeline ever. Yeah. Yeah, if Yellowstone goes, we're all going into the square hole. All right? Yeah, if that goes, you won't have to worry about applying for jobs. There you go. I dare you to do that voice in the flame trench. All right. I will. I don't know. Yeah, people don't know how big the magma chamber is under Yellowstone already. Yeah. If that pops, we're really not gonna have a good time. If Yellowstone pizzas, when it was supposed to French fry, gonna have a bad time. Also, Flight 8 is net February 24th. What? That's like a month. That's like less than a month. Okay. Ooh, linking up the NSF thread. What do we got here? What do we got here? Okay, I agree. Jeez. Yep. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. I would say that's correct. All right. You're going to ask yourself why your throat is sore tomorrow. No, I'm not. 'Cause I have Paul's Cough Drops. Hashtag not sponsored. How do you get that? How did I get what? Wait, the FAA is okay with this? I'm telling you, Sea Kraken, everybody's freaking out because the FAA enacted that temporary flight contingency because they didn't do that because stuff fell where people were. They do that because they weren't sure if stuff fell where people were. And if you're not sure, don't fly your airplanes into where the spacecraft could potentially be landing. Right? As long as all the debris came down in the cordoned off area, and then even in the contingency area, and SpaceX can prove exactly what happened. I told you it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And once again, we talked about this a little bit during Space News. That just tells me that whatever happened to Ship 33 was something stupid. It was something dumb. How is Flight 8 net? I don't know. Halls by Vast. Isn't it all basic common sense? Yeah. There is a mishap investigation, but I've been hearing that it's going to conclude very quickly. So, we'll see what happens, dudes. We'll see what happens. Anyway, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to head out. I'm working on this other... I was about to tell you what it was. I'm working on this other project for NSF. Hopefully, you know, this project bears some fruit or something. I'm working on a thing. How quickly do you think SpaceX will launch the recovery mission for the 2 astronauts they were tasked with? EMH, they were already launching the recovery mission next month. That was already a thing, and that's been a thing since Starliner came back down, like in September. I'm telling you, man, it's just grandstanding, dude. Don't worry about it. Is it banana related? How'd you know? When can you tell more of this project? I could tell you what I'm working on right now, W. I just don't want to because I don't like telling people about the thing that I haven't done yet. Does that make sense, dude? His voice is already going. Guess what, Mr. Weather Guy? How does it feel to be constantly wrong and still be able to keep your job? That's right. It goes in the square hole. Yeah, so I'm not going to say it. Tell us what the project is soon. I'm working on something for NSF, okay? If I had a nickel every time I heard that, I would have 1 nickel because I just heard it. All right, seriously, I'm done. I will see you guys tomorrow, noontime, Kerbal, Space News. And then I think that's it. I'm going to keep working on this project, and then I have another meeting tomorrow with another thing. Cool. Spill it, or I give another bit. Bye. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night. Sleep well. I know I will. My bed. Brought to you by Vast. All right, seriously. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.